Well, today in America, we had another unemployment numbers that were released to the public, and another 3.2 million people filed for unemployment last week. So it brings the total up to approximately 34 million Americans unemployed, which is approximately 20% unemployment rate of the workforce. And that has all happened in the course of about 6 weeks due to COVID-19, the coronavirus. And so I want to talk about that tonight as the numbers continue to add up. However, it does appear that we've plateaued or we're close to it. And as America reopens, those numbers may be adjusted. But a big factor now is how long will people collect unemployment and how long should you wait before you actively engage looking for a job. That's what I want to talk tonight. I want to acknowledge some of the people on the live chat. Norma, my member, good to see you, Norma. It's great to see you. I hope you're doing good. Thank you. Blanton, good to see you. Luke, good to see you. Love to you guys. Thank you. So first is, I want to share my personal experience in life. I've been laid off before. There's been times I've waited the entire 6 months. Meaning that in average times, if you get laid off or if you're unemployed, you can collect unemployment benefits for up to 6 months. There are times that they will extend that 6 months if we're in a deep recession, such as 2008. But in normal times, you get about 6 months worth of unemployment. You pay into that through taxes in your paycheck every week when you work. So that is not free money. That's an insurance policy that you collect on when you get laid off. So the question becomes, how long do you really want to wait? You may want to take a couple weeks off or maybe a couple months off to lick your wounds and to reset your life, to heal and to reflect what your next steps are. But you need to remember this, very important, that on average, it takes 4 to 6 months to get another job. That's the average statistic, that it takes 4 to 6 months to get a new job. There's a reason that 6 months is the amount of unemployment benefits that's the average given out, because that's about the time it's going to take you if you start today. So if you wait till the 5th month of unemployment and then you start to actively look, you're going to more than likely run out of unemployment, more than likely get behind the 8 ball, and it's going to be very tough. Now, look, you could DoorDash. I've been doing videos about that. As the time I make this, DoorDash, Instacart, the gig economy, some apps are very, very busy. Now, if you do those types of apps, obviously you're not going to get full unemployment benefits, if any, depending how much you make. And you could always get a job at Walmart or Wawa or different places like that. Wawa's a gas station in America. You're always going to be able to make basic income if you're willing to work and you can pass a drug test, etc. So even with 34 million Americans laid off, there's job opportunities. Maybe not career jobs, maybe not a job you love, but something to earn you income and to keep your bills paid and yourself fed, the bare essentials of life. But I want to share this. It's very important. It's like being out of the workforce is like being out of the gym. I haven't been in the gym in about 6 weeks, and when I go back in the gym, it's going to take me about six weeks just to get back to where I was. Okay, so the longer you're out of the workforce, the harder it is to get back into it. Okay, so the overall message is get back active in the workforce as soon as you can. Obviously, if you're sick, if you're hurting, or if you just need some weeks to collect your thoughts and to recharge your batteries, that's healthy. But don't wait too long to re-engage the workforce, because it will make things harder on you and you'll feel more pressure, more stress as you get closer to running out your unemployment benefits. To me, if I got laid off today, I would DoorDash today. And if DoorDash was popping, I probably wouldn't even be able to collect, because, you make a certain amount of money, they won't even give you benefits. So that's my opinion. and my experience. Everyone has their own. But from someone who has, at one time in my life, in my early 20s, I waited too long to re-engage work, and it just put me in a bad position. Okay, and that's how I started. One of the ways I started to occur debt, and just having less leverage in the workforce. Okay, because you really don't, like if you go on your 6-month period of collecting unemployment, and then let's just say you get a job on the 7th month or a job offer, you don't have the leverage and the flexibility to pick and choose what job you take. Okay. The more options you have, the greater position of strength you're in. When you're out of unemployment and when you need another job, you don't have as many options. You're not as strong negotiating. You can't negotiate top salary. You can't pick top job. And you've lessened your position of negotiation. And with 34 million Americans laid off in 6 months, a big percentage of them will be in the competition with you. I want to share this. We'll get ready to go all live comments. Is that I had gotten internal job transfer. Just applying and getting interviewed took a couple months. Then, once I was accepted to be able to do the job transfer with the same company I was already working with, it took another 4 months to start in that role. Even an internal transfer with the same company you're working for, it's going to take 2 to 6 months to get that position secured. So remember the statistics that the average person, it takes anywhere from 2 to 6 months to secure a new job. That's why you have 6 months of unemployment. The longer you wait to re-engage the workforce, the less negotiation strength you have. The more competition you will face. What are we talking about? We're always talking about position yourself as well as possible so you can live your best life. The more options you have, the more picky you can be. The greater position of strength you're in, the better you'll feel, the better the outcome will usually be. Live your best life. That's what we're talking about. Even with 30 million people unemployed, we're still talking about a strategic way to look at life and to view your strategy for how to attack problems that occur in life. Okay. And that's the core message I want to share tonight. And I'll take a hydration break. And again, we'll read all live comments. Read them. Norma, I want to thank you again. Being a member. I see that green symbol, which designates you are a member. If you're not a member, guys, and you want to join, you click that blue membership every Sunday. I'm going to start on Sundays. We're going to do private members only chats. It'll be a good thing. Love to, Norma. Thank you. Let me take a hydration break. All live comments. Blanton, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. How are you? I see you uploading the videos, and I see you doing your thing, man. Great to see you. Luke, hey, Sam, what's up, brother? Luke, what's up, my brother? Doing good. Very thankful. One day at a time. I still kind of wish I was in Florida. Weather was decent today in New Jersey, but spending quality time with my mom. She is getting better with her new smartphone, so that's good. And making the most of it. Blanton, hope you're doing good today. Overall, it was a good day. Again, I don't feel my best because I haven't been working out. All the gyms are still closed in New Jersey. Milano told me that May 18th, the gyms open up in South Florida, supposedly. So, but once I get back in the gym, it's going to take another 6 months for me to get, or 6 weeks to get back where I was 6 weeks ago. So, being out of the gym is like being out of the workforce. The longer you're out, the longer it takes to get back to where you were. Norma, hey, Sam, how was your day? Yeah, overall, like I was telling Luke, it was good. The weather wasn't bad. I don't know if you're still in Maryland. Are you still in Maryland, Norma? So, the weather's been decent. This Saturday in the Northeast, the weather's supposed to be a little bit cold in the 50s or so, low 50s. But then after that, we're pretty much probably in the 60s and up for the rest of the summer. So that'll be good. Good camping weather. Not too hot, not too cold. Good sleeping weather in your car, primitive camping. The New Jersey and most of the Northeast Thousand Trails campgrounds got canceled into June. So that was a new change that happened today. But other than that, that's pretty much my day. I'm thinking about My Thousand Trails camping membership is up for renewal at the end of August. So I'm trying to debate if I'm going to renew that. And so I'll take it from there. If anything, I just got the basic camping pass. So if I don't renew it, what I'm going to do is just not renew it, but then I could just join right back up and I'll probably get a discount for joining. So I like things that I'm in and out of. Obviously, if I had an RV, then I would definitely still keep it. I may still keep it, but that's why I don't do heavy commitments, because I like to be able to get in and out of something. And again, when times are bad, if you're laid off or if you're struggling, keep your options open. If you're going to rent an apartment or rent a room short term, why? Limit your liability long term so you're more flexible to change. And that's key. Love to you. Norma says, yeah, you got the fancy green symbol. Love to you. Love to you, Norma. God bless you, man. You're great, Norma. I love you. Let's continue to read. Luke, if it was so nice last night to go to a rooftop spot and enjoy the ocean breeze and have drinks and food in an outside dining environment. Yeah, that's what I heard in the Jersey Shore. Like, they're going to try to make a lot of the restaurants outdoor eateries. We'll see how that plays out. But that's an interesting thing. Andy G, what's up, brother? Love to you, man. Good to see you again. Hey, Sammy. Hey, man. How are you? Thank you again for your graciousness last night. How you doing, brother? How's everything with you and the kids? How's your life, man? Charles, good evening. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you coming in, Charles. Appreciate you. How was your day, man? Luke, I can honestly say in the Carolinas for Instacart, I've been seeing an average of $600 to $800 a week. That's great. So if you made $800 a week, that's what, $3,200 a month gross. If you deducted 30%, you're probably right around $2,500 a month net. $2,500 a month net. Guys, if you're a single person with no kids, you make it rain on yourself and you enjoy life. And then you can do other things. You can do YouTube on the side. You can do eBay on the side. Any side hustles should have a low expense ratio, okay? Because they're, if you keep your expenses low, you don't need a lot to survive, especially if you don't have a lot of kids and not entangled in a lot of madness. So, and you have your freedom to be yourself. You don't have to pander to the crowd. You don't have to resist the urge to be your own creative self. And that's a blessing to live in a place of freedom. Why do I still love the nomad life? It's because, guys, I like my freedom. I like my independence. I don't like to see 34 million people unemployed. That doesn't make me happy. But I like to know the peace of mind that even in a world where a lot has changed, I have a lot of options. I have an option of DoorDash, Instacart, and I like that I can change my location if I need to. Now, if I want to spend quality time with my mom, because that's what, this pandemic has brought us, like, my mom is obese with diabetes. She's in her 70s, so she is the very high risk pool. So I'm calculating my moves based on my time and what's best. So I think right now it's best that I spend some quality time with my mom, all things considered. But I have the flexibility to change if I need to. When you're unemployed or when you're in a bad situation in life, what's your number one asset? Flexibility. However, flexibility is just like a bottle of water, okay? If you don't use it, you don't have it. Like a bottle of water, if you're thirsty, if you don't drink it, it doesn't help you. So remember, use what you have. Like I had to tell my mom today, she has a pair of Dollar Tree glasses, reading glasses, and she has a pair of like bifocals that she got from the doctor like a year ago. And every time and she's playing with her phone like every day. Now she's getting a little better. She just got a new smartphone. She had a flip phone for 10 years or so. And I said, Ma, how you doing with your phone today? And she goes, good. It's just tough reading some of the numbers. I said, Ma, put on your glasses. She goes, I got my glasses on. I said, Ma, you got the Dollar Tree glasses on. I said, put your good glasses on. I said, why would you have good glasses and not use them? Use what you have. Efficiency. Efficiency is using what you have and getting rid of what you don't need. Elon Musk is selling some of his houses. He did a podcast today with Joe Rogan saying that part of the reason is It's not the money per se for him. It's part of consolidating his brain capacity. Studies show that when you have too many clothes and your mind has to think about all the decisions you have to pick as far as clothes and accessories, that's more time your mind is spending on a frivolous decision as far as what to wear rather than what to do. Okay. So even Elon Musk, a billionaire, he just made $750 million on one like stock option. He's consolidating because he realizes how much, he's also got 6 kids. So how much stuff can your mind think about? The less that you have to think about, the more free and peaceful your mind is. Peace of mind. You know, what is attractive about the nomad life and minimalism? Peace of mind. Okay. And that's a blessing from the Lord. Let's continue to read. Norma, I love you. I'm attracted to that green emoji. It does something to me, Norma. I'm going to read it, Norma. Hang in there. On Sunday, it's just going to be all the members. So we have all the good, we're going to be circling through it. Luke, that's what I've been averaging. That's a great average, man, for a side hustle or even a main hustle. Just remember, you have to pay health insurance and put something in the retirement if you really wanted to make it a career, if you were going to manage it properly. Luke, but there has been a lot of anger over these bots stealing the bigger orders, from the common person and leaving the smaller orders for everyone else. I haven't heard enough about that to give a good reply. So obviously I know, there's always going to be scalpers. So a bot is basically like a digital scalper, okay, in some instances. So bots are like basically algorithms, and some people program them to skim off the top or to do certain things when certain mathematical formulas line up. So at a basic level, a bot is just a scalper, okay? It's someone who skims a little bit off the top, and that's it. For the most part, takes the good part of the pie or whatever. But bottom line is, you're not going to starve. And even if you get a bad order, I always tell people, I would accept low orders for the most part. Why? Because I just keep in the cycle, keep in a routine, keep in a rhythm. And what I found is, I might take a $2 order, but when I take a $2 order, then when I'm done, I usually get a bigger order. There's some exceptions, but I like to keep rhythm. I like to keep moving. I think that's wisdom. I think a picky person suffers. I do. Now, look, there's a time to be picky and discerning. But I was watching someone's video today because I was watching different DoorDash videos on YouTube. And there's this one guy, I haven't watched him in a long time because I unsubscribed because he was always complaining about DoorDash. And I said, let me go on this guy's channel. I said, I'm curious what he's saying, being that right now we're probably at the best time ever to DoorDash. You got high demand, you got low traffic on the road, and you got low gas prices. The environment to make money on DoorDash is the best it'll probably ever be. And I wanted to see what this YouTuber was going to say, his attitude. And sure enough, he was still complaining. A complainer will always complain. It doesn't matter if there's 34 million people unemployed or if DoorDash is the best it's ever been to them. So I always tell you guys, if there's one red flag when it comes to a relationship, it's an ungrateful person. An ungrateful person. Now, I give him credit. He's a worker. He's not a lazy man. He does work. He's consistent. But there's two parts of being a good worker or even being a good manager. It's showing up and having a good attitude. Showing up and having a good attitude. If you could show up and have a good attitude, you're probably going to be employed most of your life. And when you're not, you're going to find something else relatively quickly. For the average person, I would say it's true. Josh, sub chat. Wow, is that 34 million number true? Yes. As of today, we're right at about 34 million. Isn't that amazing, brother? Stock market was actually up today too. Why? Because the stock market is backed by the Federal Reserve. They're buying junk bonds. They're propping up the market. And we printed $4 trillion in the course of 6 weeks. I did the numbers today. If everyone got universal basic income, let's just say there's a little bit less, but let's just say there's 350 million Americans in America. So if the Federal Reserve gave everyone $1,000 per month for 12 months, that's about $4 trillion. So we basically spent universal basic income budget in 4 weeks to back up the stock market. That could have went to universal basic income. Now, I understand why we have to back up the stock market because that There's some companies, a lot of companies, obviously, that's what they use for the equity and the market cap in their company to hire people and do their business. So, look, guys, I totally get the economic system. And I think in many instances, we have a great economic system, but it's out of balance. We have corporate lobbyists and ignorant people who vote for corporate welfare. They look down on domestic welfare, but they vote for corporate welfare because they love patriotism, religion, and their own culture rather than understanding the dynamics of economic oppression or economic inequalities. However, there isn't a huge level of economic oppression in some instances where right now you can make decent money doing DoorDash or Instacart. So I'm not saying that America's evil. I'm just saying that America, if it just made a little change in the way it balances its budget, you can have good domestic policy to provide a base income and widen the middle class and still allow corporations to operate and to reward the highly productive and innovative people. It's a very simple adjustment, but for emotional and psychological reasons, change takes generations. It takes about 40 years to cycle. So 40 years from now, I'll be 80. By the time I'm 80, there'll be universal income, there'll be universal health care, however they want to phrase it, whether it's Medicare for all or universal health care, doesn't matter. And there'll be Social Security as soon as you're born, you're going to get a check. So if you think about that, you say, Sam, no way. I said, guys, it's 2020. You could basically make $2,000 a month just using your phone and not having any boss on DoorDash or Instacart. You don't really need any background experience or anything like that. If we rewinded 100 years ago to 1920, when there was a recession, people would basically pack everything they own, travel to a different part of the country, wait for farmers or workers on a project to die so they could take their job. There were bread lines. I mean, so I definitely think, look, in another 40 years, society is going to be so different, but generations have to die off and change is progressive over time. But who is the president? Who are the people they matter? They're all corrupt. I don't think Joe Biden is a righteous person and Donald Trump. I think, look, there's both corruption, both, but I vote for the money bag. So guys, if we're going to bail out corporations, why won't we have universal health care and universal income? I don't care about like political ideology. I care, okay, about if I was doing DoorDash, I don't have health care. I got to pay for that myself. If I didn't have to pay for that and the government who prints money paid for it, it wouldn't matter if you did, you wouldn't have to worry as much. Okay, so, that's how I look at life. But let's continue to read before I get off topic. Norma, again, one of my members, that green symbol represents that, and I appreciate that. That's great. Like, hey, I can't find out if I start. Can I be done in a different city? Not getting the answer on the app or website. Do you happen to know, Luke? Instacart, I don't know, so I'll let Luke answer that. Maybe he did. I didn't get to all the live comments yet. So DoorDash I've done. Instacart I've never done. I just have heard people testify. And I've actually been in stores and I've talked to Instacart workers. Luke goes, I feel the social distancing and limiting seating and lack of meat supply will definitely hurt the service industry. Well, one is, most restaurants cannot make a profit off 25% capacity or 50% capacity. Most restaurants would have to operate at least 60% capacity to break even and maybe squeeze a little bit of profit out. So that's what they're going to shoot for, 60% capacity and up. However, look, guys, restaurants were making money for the past, 10 years. They were on a boom. So I don't wish these bad times on them. They got the PPE. They got the small business loans. So they got bailed out for a couple months too. Now, if they were getting money under the table, I'm sure there's plenty of pizzerias that were making money under the table. Maybe they didn't get as much as but nothing always goes up. That's just part of life, but I think as we open up, as long as we don't have another outbreak, we'll go forward. Milano, what's up, brother? Sammy, 34 million. It's like 24% unemployment. I heard the number 20%. How they calculate the unemployment percentage of, how they calculate the percentage of unemployed, like there's 3% of the workforce unemployed or 24%. It's very much an unexact science. They like cold call, they just call up they take a poll. And when Donald Trump was a candidate, he said Barack Obama and the unemployment data was untrustable because, basically they just take a poll of people and that's not good data. But then when he got in office, he said, I got the lowest unemployment ever. He never changed the way we collect the data. So, however, look, guys, we know that the unemployment rate is definitely higher and the highest it's ever been. How they collect the data and if it's true or not, that's debatable. But we can basically say unemployment rates are up. However, unemployment benefits are higher than average. DoorDash is better than average. So you supplement one with the other and you don't spend too long on the bench. If you were a basketball player and you were sitting on the bench and the coach said, look, I want to get you in the second quarter, but you said, nah, I want to wait till the fourth quarter to play because I'm going to collect, benefits until the fourth quarter. You're going to hurt yourself. So what I tell you, if you're unemployed and collecting benefits, you earn those. Okay. Why? Because you pay a part of your taxes into unemployment insurance. Okay. So you're collecting your insurance. However, if you can get off it, because the more you move in life, the better your life goes. The more idle you are, the worse your life goes. On average, that's what I've learned, and that's what I want to tell you tonight. Good job. Stock market's been up. I mean, it's still down overall. Stock market, the high was like 29,000 on the Dow. Now you're at around 24,000. So from the highest point in the Dow Jones average on the stock market, we're only down about 25%. So that's not like an extreme, if it wasn't for the Federal Reserve printing money and buying junk bonds, etc., the Dow Jones would definitely still be in the teens. But the reason it went up was because of the bailout package. And I understand why. I'm not anti-corporation. I'm just more pro-balance. Luke, I heard you can do Instacart in other cities and travel with it. Norma, I am still on the fence about starting massage again. I don't blame you. It's been such an overload of conflicting information, I agree, to where I can't even decide what is the ethical thing to do. I hate feeling wishy-washy. I agree with everything you said there. There is a lot of different information. So focus on the information that you can control. And what would I do? Would I do massage therapy again right now? No. I personally wouldn't unless I had no other option to feed myself. And I don't think you're going to have a high demand. So what would I do if I was you? Well, again, I would put Instacart and DoorDash in your bag. And I would start doing them immediately. Now, if you don't like them and if you don't like to drive, I would look at Walmart. I would look at Wawa. I would look at any other side hustle, whether it was pet sitting. I don't know if you can even do cleaning houses now or anything like that, but these are just general things that are usually always out there in the workforce. But my number one piece of advice right now is DoorDash and Instacart, and then Walmart and Wawa. Those are my top 4 at a basic level that just about anyone can get a job right now. There's other ones out there, but those are like the 4 major ones that anyone right now can just get a job. So you're not going to starve to death, Norma. If you want a fancy green symbol like me, yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. We're good every Sunday. We're going to do member-only chats, and then it'll evolve from there. Blam. Being alone during this sometimes is hard, but I think you can learn a lot about yourself during times of solitude. Well, I definitely think so. I like to be alone. When you're younger, you probably like to be alone less because the younger you are, the more social. Then the more you go through life, you realize you're going to be happier when you're alone and you're going to suffer more when you're in relationships. So take your time to reflect, but remember your healthy routine. Your healthy routine is your guidance to get away from idle time. Idle time is the devil's playground. What is your healthy routine? Waking up by 7 a.m., having a healthy breakfast, going for a walk, doing something productive. Obviously, if you have a job or something productive, take a break at lunch, go for a walk, go back to doing something productive, take a break in the afternoon, at night, or whatever, have your dinner, eat something healthy, go for another walk, and then do some entertainment, whether it's watching YouTube or being a YouTube. So then by 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, you're tired and you repeat the cycle. In between those mundane days, those days that are very much just a basic routine, add some adventure on the weekends, travel a little bit. Now that the country's opening up, maybe you can do it more. But your healthy routine will guide you through the good and bad times. Every time you abandon your healthy routine, you suffer more. Your best life is basically having a good routine on autopilot and making some adjustments for adventure and being having spontaneous life. You know what I mean? Luke, I really believe this is the best time more than ever to live your best life and practice minimalistic principles. I agree. Look, if you downsized before the coronavirus, that was the best decision. Again, I made this statement, and I think it's very important. Listen up, anyone listening. I have personally never heard of anyone who regretted downsizing. I am not saying that everyone should live in a car. I am saying I have never heard of anyone who regretted downsizing. Looking at your life and seeing how you can eliminate the wasteful, only have what you need. Elon Musk is selling his mansions. Why? Mental stress. It's not just financial. Minimalism helps your mental health, okay? And so like Norma right now, Norma's struggling a little bit what to do. She's better off the less she has in her life, because the less she has to worry about, the clearer her focus could be. So I agree with that. And then she goes, yeah, she's still in Maryland. It was finally sunny. I took a long walk. Some campgrounds here are getting ready to start opening. And another option. Yeah, check your emails. I got an email today that some of the reservations I had for a Jersey campground with 1,000 Trails got canceled in the rest of May and a little bit into June. So, Luke, do you feel the 1,000 Trails? Michael, $5 super chat with a guy working out. Well, damn it, Michael Brown, I appreciate that, brother, because I ain't worked out in about 6 months. And I feel the lack of muscle tone. Michael, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Appreciate that emoji, guy. Like I tell you, I want to tell you the example again. Thank you, Michael. Is that the longer you're out of something, the harder it is to get back in something. You know, part of the reason I upload every day is because I keep a rhythm. You know, it's part of my routine. And over time, that builds. Same thing with a gym. If you go, you know, every day or every other day, it's part of your routine and your muscles build. You know, so what you want to do in your life is keep a rhythm. When you're out of the workforce for months, and you don't have to be, you lose your rhythm. Life is energy, man. When you get hooked up to a machine on life support, it's tracking an energy sine wave. The worst thing you can do to your energy sine wave is sit idle, okay? The only time you should really be idle is at night when you sleep. Sleeping repairs your muscle tissues and it filters out the toxins in your brain. It actually helps your mental health to sleep 6 to 8 hours per night, but not too long, not too short. 6 to 8 hours on average for an adult. So stay in a rhythm. That's the message tonight. There's other options out there, even if you're unemployed. Take time for yourself. Don't rush back to kill yourself. But stay in a rhythm of life. Michael, thank you again. And Norma, thank you for being a member again. Thank you, guys. Let's continue to read. Luke, do you feel... I read that. Oh, no, I didn't. Do you feel the 1,000 Trails is worth it in South Florida and key areas since it's hard to find camping? Great question. I think 1,000 Trails, definitely the basic camping pass, is still worth it on average. Okay, especially for a nomad. It gives you a home-based option, especially if you're really confused and lost. However, in Southeast Florida, it's not worth it. There's only 2 that are not extra cost ones, and one is in like a Boontown, like right by Delray Beach a little bit. It's not a bad location. It's not a great location. And the other one is like in Vero Beach, which is a little bit too up north. So if you like the west coast of Florida, or if you like Orlando, it's definitely worth it. Orlando has a lot of 1,000 Trails and a lot of Encore parks. And South Florida, I should say, Southeast Florida, it's the Trails collection, the Encore parks, not 1,000 Trails. The 1,000 Trails parks in Florida, there's only 3 of them. One in Orlando, that's their biggest one. One in Wildwood, Florida, which is a little bit north of that. And then one in the Peace River, like Wakachapa, Florida. And it's in the middle of nowhere by Okeechobee River, Okeechobee Lake. So, now, Florida's not ideal to be by the coast and have 1,000 Trails. You got to have the Encore package, which I have, but those don't really favor tent campers. They're really for RVers. There's not a lot of tent camping sites at those Encore parks. So no, no and yes. The basic camping pass is a no-brainer because it's $600 a year. You only have to pretty much stay a couple of weeks at 1,000 trails. It pays for itself. As a full-time nomad, yes. Will I sign up? I'm going to see, because I'm 3 years now full-time living on the road. I'm looking at different options, but it's still something I think is valuable for the amount it cost. Nicole, hey Sam, what's up, Nicole? Good to see you. Good to see you too. Thank you for the video. Thank you for all the positive comments. Thank you for your positive attitude. There's two things that will help your employment, career, and your life. Two things. Show up and have a relatively positive attitude. It doesn't mean like you can't be mad sometimes or sad or a little fired up. It's good to have passion. But overall, there's two things that will guide your life to a better life, your best life. Show up and keep an overall positive attitude. Those two things keep you going forward. Never forget it. So Nicole, thank you for your positive attitude. Blam. This chat has like its own community now where we're all in it together. Pretty amazing. I'm very thankful for that. Grateful. I don't take that for granted. I could show up, but you also need a level of luck, grace, etc. So I acknowledge the grace of God. I acknowledge the good people that we connected. I'm thankful. I always tell you guys, focus on what you can control, which is your works, because faith without works is dead. So I do believe you should have a level of faith in life, but I do believe you have to put in the work through consistency and overall good attitude. Now, sometimes I'm fired up, but it's from a good place. And even though, look, I've turned off some people with my political ideas. I've turned off some people with who I am. But overall, through my minimalism and through me doing other hustles, I'm able to be myself and then connect with people that are similar, and we build each other up. And I think it's a blessing. I know it's a blessing to me. It's a side hustle, but it's also a blessing. I get both out of it, and I'm grateful. And I appreciate that, Blend. And I appreciate you. Like I said, you're a young man. You're a hard worker. Got a good attitude. You're going to figure out life, and you're going to do great, man. Like I always told you. I don't know how to say that name, so forgive me. I think that may be Russian. I could be wrong. Forgive me if I am. I'm just going to say KK because I don't know how to pronounce the name. And she gave me almost like a girl Buddha sign. That's very interesting emoji. Thank you, KK. And love to you. If you want to say where you're from, God bless you. Great to see you, Josh. Damn. I'm only making about $2,300 a month. Okay, as a Whole Foods buyer, what am I doing? Yeah, well, Whole Foods provides you stability. DoorDash, Instacart, a little bit unstable, and you have to be a go-getter. Remember, when you're an independent contractor, you have a lot of freedom, but if you're not a go-getter, if you're not a go-getter, that freedom won't be a blessing. It'll be a burden because you won't make $2,300 a month. If you have a little bit of a lazy mind, you almost need more structure. Whole Foods and Walmart provide more structure to guarantee you're going to make a certain amount of money. If you're lazy, and I'm not saying that as a negative thing. There's a negative part of being lazy, but as I've matured in life, I've realized there's some people that just have lower energy levels, and that's just who they are. And they're not nasty lazy. They're just like a little bit lower energy. So if you know yourself, knowing yourself is the key to all decisions, and you know you do better in a structured environment, not in an independent, go-getter environment, then you're better off at a Walmart or Whole Foods because your job is laid out for you, your hours are laid out for you, and you pretty much have to show up and do your task. If you're an independent go-getter, being a 1099 contractor for DoorDash, Uber, whatever, you say, look, I want to make $100 a day. And so you manage your time. You're willing to take deliveries that maybe aren't ideal. And you're a go-getter. You're an improviser. If the order doesn't go right and you got to get the big chick, extra cheese, and you got to come out of your pocket $1, you improvise to get the task done, okay? Because you're your own boss. An independent contractor, you are your own business, technically. So you have to improvise as if you were the owner. You are the owner, okay? DoorDash is not. DoorDash guides you through the app where to go, when to pick it up, what are the items, but you have to figure out how to execute it in the most efficient manner. Any gig economy. When you're in Whole Foods, you're told, look, stack this shelf, these are the items, get it done by this time, and then they oversee you. So know your personality. Do you need more structure or less structure? And, kind of go through that thing. Good job. Good comment. Luke, does your mom support your channel or know about it. No, my mom does not know about my YouTube channel. Like I say, she's just now getting a smartphone, and I just keep certain things away from her. When I had a nonprofit organization and I had a radio show on AM radio in New Jersey, my mom listened to it after church. And I remember that, like, one of the first episodes my mom listened to, she had like her sisters, my aunt, listen. And she goes, Sam, I told everyone to tune in tonight. What's the show about? Because I did the show pre-recorded. And I go, well, the show's about masturbation. And she goes, what? And so, that was like but she still, she still supported me like any good mother, like they still support their children. It was still like a wholesome thing. But guys, I've always been the type of person, like, I'm going to speak my mind. And for me, like, especially as a young man, that was something I wanted to talk about that wasn't talked about in the church. And it's a part of life, sexual being and stuff like that. So, but it's funny you asked that, because that was like the last time she heard me like do something like as far as talking. But when I was a youth leader in church and I would do public speaking, she would always come and support me, and vice versa. When she would sing at church, I would always go and support her and stuff like that. So, but at this point, for healthy boundaries, I keep some of my things private from my mom. And I see when you're elderly, you don't need to really know things that are going to stress you out more. So I just focus all of our time that we spend together on things that matter. I don't bring up a lot of things that don't matter. Why? Because it's inefficient and unproductive to our relationship and to her mental health. And I've been telling her, as a 70-year-old woman, the first time she's ever used a smartphone, the first 2 or 3 weeks, I told you, Ma, all I want you to do is continue to practice on texting and making phone calls. Like today, she was getting a little cocky. It was like her second day having a phone. She said, Sam, I want to learn how to watch a video or do this. I said, Ma, 2 weeks, all I want you to focus on is making calls and texting. Okay. So focus on your foundation. Build that up. Build it up until it's like your second nature habits. It takes 21 days, 21 days. It takes 3 weeks for the average human to form a habit. Your habits create your routine. Your routine creates your life. Why is it unhealthy to stay on unemployment benefits too long? Because you're going to create habits of laziness, of unproductiveness, possibly, that can hurt you long term in living your best life. So that's kind of like what I would tell everyone out there. Let's take a hydration break, and we're going to continue to read all live comments. Michael, thank you again, and thank you to all my members. Norma, love to you. And we're going to go forward. Let's continue. Sonia, hey Sonia, how are you? Love to you, beautiful. Hope you're doing good. Peace to your mind and peace to your soul. Sonia's a younger woman who has a dream to be in a relationship. And there's nothing wrong with that. I have a friend of mine just got divorced. He got right back into another relationship, and I called him today, but he's happy. That's what he wants. So sometimes I bust his chops, but then I got to remind myself. I said, Sam, this is what he wants. So if you want a relationship, I'm not mad at you. I support you. She goes, this country desperately needs universal basic income. You will get it eventually for at least unemployed citizens. Well, unemployed citizens do have unemployment benefits for 6 months. And with the special package that the federal government passed, they get an extra $600 per week on top of their normal. So they're okay for 6 months at this point. We need to mirror Canada. Well, Canada right now is getting $2,000 per month. I don't know what their unemployment benefits are, but they have universal health care. Because if you do the conversion rate right now, $2,000, 2,000 Canadian dollars, the exchange ratio basically equals 1,400 American dollars. So right now, if you made $2,000 a month in Canada, that's the equivalent of $1,400 a month in US based on the currency exchange. But the big difference is Canada has universal health care. Okay, so yes, they pay a little bit more in taxes. But for me, Americans pay for health care out of their pocket. And when you have everyone pooled together buying health care together, you're paying less when you're paying it out of your taxes than if you're paying it out of your pocket. Number one cause of bankruptcy in America is healthcare bills. Like right now, that's why I tell you, if you're doing DoorDash and if you're making a couple grand a month, but if you don't have health insurance, you're going to screw yourself, because if you get out of your car and you slip and fall and you break your leg, a medical bill can be thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on if you need surgeries, etc. So it could break you. So at least have basic healthcare coverage. That's important. Let's continue. She goes, we need to, if not, desperate people will do desperate things. Well, I have to be fair. Again, I'm a reformist, and I speak exactly what I need to see reform. But right now, there's no reason why anyone should be that desperate. Number one is, if you're unemployed, you're getting regular benefits plus an extra $600 a week or a month or whatever it is. And you have the option of DoorDash, Instacart, etc., or work at Walmart or Wawa. There's no way you should be destitute, especially as a single person with no kids. So right now, I mean, again, I think universal basic income and universal health care should be part of society no matter what, just to balance out the wealth gap and to keep a level of civility and shared economy in the country. But I don't want to exaggerate things for the point of not being fair, because then you lose your credibility in the argument. Now, look, when you disagree with someone, it doesn't matter if you have credibility or not. There's always going to be certain people very conservative, certain people very liberal. But right now, in a fair mind, I can't say that anyone should be too, well, I don't want to say should be too upset, because look, if your mother just died of the coronavirus and, you got laid off a job you were on for 10 years, look, or you had a restaurant that you owned and now you may not get it back, look, you're hurting. So I'm just trying to say, look, it's not a horrific thing for everyone. For a lot of people it is, but not for everyone. So that's kind of just balancing out. Norma, Sam, unrelated question, but if I skip the ads before the video, does it affect your monetization? Yes. If you watch the ads, it helps my channel a little bit more with the monetization. I heard a rumor that the ads have to be watched the whole way. The whole way to get the whole credit, at least a little bit of the way to get a little bit of the credit. But remember, AdSense revenue, which is revenue based on the ads being watched or clicked on. Clicking on the ad makes the most. It's like for every 1,000 views, you only get $1. $1 to $10, depending on what your channel is about and different factors. For the average person like me, the average YouTuber, I'm not, you don't make anything to speak of with AdSense. It's helpful, but it's not. That's why I do, Super Chats help, and that's why I started the memberships, because it helps me build up a base and make it a little bit more sustainable and grow. So, yes, watching the, watching the commercials can help, but I know that's very hurtful for people, but that's the answer. Anthony, 499 Super Chat. Thank you, brother, for helping the channel. What's your favorite stock pick, Sam? I love Beyond Meat. Well, one is thank you for the tip, brother. Love to you and your children. And thank you, Norma, for being a member. One is I don't pick stocks. Why? Because I haven't had any success with one stock. And so I would be a fraud to give you advice. I did do day trading, but when I did day trading, I would just pick a stock for volatility and try to scalp a little bit off the top. I have done like single stocks and bought and hold them for a while, but I would never hold them long enough to really pick the right one and make the right one. The index fund is your best bet over a long period of time, but I know that's boring. Beyond Meat was a stock that IPO'd within the past year that is a plant-based meat. It's plant-based. It's like not fake meat, but it's not meat. It's plant-based meat. And that's why they call it Beyond Meat. And it's basically gone almost straight up. I mean, it has a little bit ups and downs, but it's like, do I want to buy high now? It's the valuation is very high. There's no exact science. So my answer to you is I don't want to be a fraud. I don't want to give you advice and cause you to lose, because I am honest with you. I've lost more money on stocks than I've made. So I don't want to be like someone on CNBC that gives you advice like Jim Cramer or anyone else, and they don't show you how much they've made and what they've traded for the past 3 years. They don't show you their tax returns. So all I could tell you is get a year's worth of expenses in a savings account, never touch it. If you want to have a brokerage account and trade stocks, be careful with margin, borrowing on credit, and never touch your savings account. Build a 12-month emergency fund in a savings account, pay off your debt, then do stocks. That way, if you lose all your money in your brokerage account, you still have a peace of mind and you're not destitute. That's my best advice without being a fraud and disingenuous to you. And so thank you, brother, for the tip. And that's a great question. And again, I'm not against stocks. I'm not against day trading. I'm just saying put it in your high risk pool, have your emergency fund pay off your debt, and then have, fun with your fund money. And best of luck to you, brother. So thank you, Anthony. Josh, oh my God. Did Musk do a part 2 on Joe Rogan? Yes, he did a part 2. It aired today. So if you go to Joe Rogan, they talked about a variety of topics. Some I disagreed with Musk on. Some I agreed. But it does make for an interesting interview. It does. Sonia, I've got a friend who's unemployed. No one is hiring. Untrue. I mean, it depends what industry. So what did they do before they got unemployed? Like I say, it's not a career job, but right now, Wawa's hiring, Walmart is hiring, DoorDash and Instacart are hiring. So, again, is it a great career? No, but it's not. It's going to give you a couple thousand a month. I mean, So, but I'm curious what she did when she got laid off. Al, Illinois, brother. Love to you, man. Shout out to you. Thumbs up to you. Shout out to the Midwest area. Josh. Also, Nomad, thoughts on Rogan? I think Joe Rogan is a valuable person in society. I don't agree with everything he does, but I like that he has a platform that's overall somewhat neutral and allows a variety of perspectives to be shared in a safe environment. Van Life with Danny, $1 super chat. Well, damn it, Van Life. Shout out to you. And it looks like you may be a fellow nomad, so you're close to my heart, brother. It is a little bit like of a shared community, like from my nomads out there. And so, and a minimalist. I feel very close to my minimalist. So thank you, Van Life. He says, keep it real, nomad. Thank you. Can we keep this train going? We can. You know how we keep the train going? One day at a time, one step at a time. Thank you for your generosity. I appreciate everyone who's very generous. Thank you. Love to you, brother. Norma said, good question, Luke. I have wondered the same thing about if his mom watches. Yeah, like I gave the answer to that, but no, my mom doesn't. I don't even want her to watch. I wouldn't want anyone I know to watch. Some people I do know watch, but I guess I feel a little bit like self-conscious sometimes when people I know watch. Only because I know sometimes I can get intense, but I really don't care. I live a minimalistic life so I could be myself in my own personal time. I have boundaries, between my jobs, between my family, and etc. And even with you guys, like I pretty much answer almost every question. There's a few things that I leave out when asked only because I need some privacy, but I need some boundaries for a healthy life. And to show you by example, you need boundaries too. Van Life with Danny gave me another super chat. And another one for the Nomad. Well, brother, another sincere thank you from a place of gratitude. I'm not entitled. I'm thankful. So I don't feel entitled to anything on YouTube. I'm trying to earn my way to grow my channel, but I'm grateful for every person who watches. Number one, just watching for free is a blessing. Thank you. I'm thankful for every super chat. I'm thankful for everyone who clicks the join button. I'm thankful for everyone who clicks a thumbs up. No matter what aspect you play on my channel, okay, I don't look at anyone different. I read all the live comments. I mean, I'm going to have special member-only chats, but everyone's still going to be able to watch. But I read every comment because it means something to me, and I'm appreciative. Van Life with Danny. Damn, man. $5 super chat. I love your content. Thank you. You deserve more. I've been blessed, and I'm grateful. I'm only by the grace of God. Can we get some more super chats first, man? Well, I don't want to start to do that to people because it's not. Thank you for your kindness, number one. I want to go back to the live comments because I don't want to make this about me. Like I said, I'm grateful for people who tip me just like I am when I DoorDash something, but I don't want to make it about me. I just want to do what I do, and as we go, we'll let it organically evolve. But thank you, Van Life, for your generosity. Love to you, and thank you. Josh. Yep, I feel so free as a nomad. Look, again, I'm single with no kids, so I'm not going to say everyone should be a nomad. But I remember when I hit my mid-30s, I did not think about being a nomad, but I thought about downsizing. And I saw no downside to downsizing. Anthony, 99 cents super chat, gave me like a Big Mac emoji, man. Anthony, man, love to you and your children, man. Thank you for that, brother. I'm going to make that a Beyond Meat. I'm going to make that a Beyond Meat burger because I try to keep my thing plant-based too. John Sally likes Beyond Meat. I think he was the original investor, man. Shout out to you, Anthony, and your children, man. God bless. But like I said, when I was in my 30s and I didn't look to sell my house initially. I just evaluated my life. The first thing I downsized was my car. Okay. Because I said, look, I'm not trying to, when you're in your 30s, I mean, are you still trying to impress girls or guys? You're just trying to live your best life. Damn, Van Life Danny, $10 super chat. Make it a double Beyond Meat burger? Damn, man. Van Life Danny, man. Well, I can tell you, man, thank you, man. You're making me blessed. Thank you, man. Thank you, Van Life Danny. You're very generous, man. Thank you. What I can tell you is there's no downside to downsizing. Okay. How far down the road you want to go with downsizing, how extreme you want to get, that's individual. Like I started with downsizing my car. Then I started with throwing out things in my house that I didn't use. Whatever you have, it should have a purpose in your life. Even Elon Musk right now is selling 2 mansions. He's a billionaire. He said today on an interview that one of the reasons he was doing it to relieve some of the mental stress in his life. He has 6 kids and 3 businesses. You know, sometimes people say, Sam, why do you do DoorDash or why do you do YouTube or why do you do this? No one ever asks Elon Musk, like, why do you do SpaceX? Why do you do Tesla? Look, guys, you want to grow yourself, okay? You know, Elon Musk doesn't have to do SpaceX. He doesn't have to do Tesla. He could have cashed out after PayPal and just did nothing. And so there's certain things in people that they have something inside them that they want to do it. Now, look, Elon Musk is not running a not-for-profit. All those businesses are for profit. But they also provide a service for people who want them. But even he realizes to do the things he wants to do, you can't have too many entanglements in your life, too much to think about and to take care of, and still excel. So the more stuff you have, the harder it is mentally to process and to do things you want to do because you have to take care of everything you own. A house, a relationship, things, less is more, okay? So remember that on your journey. Anthony, man, thank you he says, not too many people like you, Sam. One honest kind. I appreciate that kindness, man. Thank you. Van Life, honesty and a good heart is hard to come by. I can tell Sam is genuine. I try to do the best I can. I'm not human. I've been blessed with a good mother. I mean, even a good father at times, even though I don't speak to him. And, you know, I just try to do the best I can. Thank you. Let's continue to go to live comments. Josh, while there are a bot issue with Instacart and DoorDash, crazy, not surprised. Look, there's always going to be people skimming from the top, whether it's in the stock market, business, or DoorDash. But there's enough out there to make a living off. Josh, DoorDash is popping right now. The best it'll probably ever be. This is probably the peak. What could that YouTuber be complaining about? There's some people that even if you give them everything on a silver platter, they're ungrateful. And that's why I tell you guys, get away from an ungrateful person and you yourself try to find something to be thankful for, even if you hate life. Even when I did the video, and I've done several of them, talking about I hate life, I'm really upset right now, I'm in a bad place, I tried to express a level of gratitude that I want to be thankful and try to push past this mental pain. So that's very important. That's what'll keep you out of the gutter. Luke, I love emoji, the feeling of being free or working on your own terms. To me, there's nothing like it. And after experiencing living life on my terms with minimalism, with living as a nomad, with some of the side hustles, if you needed to really utilize them full time, I don't want to go back. You know, that's why I've been so cautious on a home base or RV, because I want to finish my life in this world living on a very small footprint, as small as possible, so my mind and my spirit could be as free as possible. Because things weigh my soul down. Okay, not just my wallet. I'm a cheap bastard too, but, you know, look, things weigh my soul down. Okay, so live light, travel light, and be the light. That's what I tell you. And he goes, he likes living on his terms. eBay and now combined with Instacart and Postmates has been a blessing. Money bag, and then he gave you a celebration and star emoji. I agree with that. Josh, how many hours you work in a day? Josh, I guess the thing I'm not taking into account is that with only $2,300 a month, taxes are deducted, and we do have a solid health care. That's true. You got to have a health care plan, and that takes out about $300 to $500 per month if you pay for it yourself. Well, I know. So, man, Sammy, The reality is about 24%. It's probably close around there. Right now, the unemployment rate is about 20 to 25%, something like that, of the workforce unemployed. Josh, Bill Gates is kind of alluding to another future outbreak or stronger viral stream. One thing I don't understand, well, I don't try to understand it because there's just some people out there that are a little bit have mental issues. I don't know how we came out of this coronavirus and everyone hates Bill Gates. Bill Gates has done more for humanity than most of anyone trolling on the internet ever has. Just the software systems, Microsoft Office, Microsoft Excel, and the computer, and investing in Steve Jobs, which helped keep Apple alive when they were going bankrupt. And then taking his money, doing a nonprofit, and extending life expectancy in third world countries, not decreasing life expectancy, extending it. Now, look, maybe he's got some sinister thing, but guys, on paper, on the facts, Bill Gates has helped more people than most people. So I definitely am not going to listen to someone who's unemployed and can do something right now, who's trolling online, spreading conspiracy theories and misinformation, and is going to attack Bill Gates without facts and evidence. I think that's a disgrace. And I really am upset. I'm upset that some people are using this opportunity to attack Bill Gates. I mean, guys, am I a Bill Gates fanboy? No, I mean, I'm just trying to say, like, what evidence do you have to hate on Bill Gates, man? You know, come on, man. But then I say, Sam, don't even go down that road with some people because they're just haters. Josh, Norma, you still here? Milano, Sammy, Florida, 2 million unemployed, only 700K got it. Yeah, unemployment benefits, that's a real tragedy. Unemployment benefits are still slow to go out to some people, whether in Florida and even in New Jersey a little bit. So that's a tragedy. And that's where you need universal basic income, so you don't even have to worry about unemployment benefits when something like this happens. You just have universal basic income. My mom still didn't get the stimulus package. She lives on Social Security. And so, I don't know. I think, Milano, you said Milano, did you get the stimulus check? My mom didn't get it. I know you're in Social Security. She didn't get it. Josh, Norma, I was going to say that I agree. There is so much new rapid information about this virus coming out. It's hard to tell which moves to make as a business owner. Charles? Getting up and showing up every day laughing. I work in a factory that supplies construction materials. So I am fortunate. My friends work in an automobile supply factory and they're still out of work. That's a big industry. Auto sales took a big hit and the supply chain took a big hit. So one is, Charles, great job showing up and being positive and grateful. God bless you, brother. Two is, guys, if you're in the market to buy a car, I mean, now is time to probably get a good deal. I'm waiting to see, like, down the road, maybe RVs get cheaper. We'll see. But love to you, Charles, man. You're doing the right thing. Charles says, do you think the automobile sector will rebound after they start back, or will they tank forever to rebound? Take forever to rebound? I think the auto industry was trending up for 10 years straight. So I think everything that goes up comes down, but it also goes back up again. So I think the auto industry doesn't die. I think there may be some consolidation. But at this point, I don't see any automobile. I don't see the automobile industry being in a bad shape that it was in 2008 or worse. I think if it got worse, the government would do like they did in 2008, like give you cash for clunkers. They would put incentives in place to bail out the auto industry to keep that industry going. Because the industry needs to keep going. Why? Not just for people who work on cars, like make them, but for like the supply chain of the parts in the cars. So it's a very important industry in America and throughout the world. So I think, yes, I think it's going to go in a recessionary downward thing, which it has been going in, losing profit. But I don't think it's going to collapse and not come back, in my opinion. People are always going to need transportation. And after we get past this a little bit more and society reopens, I think mass transportation, subways, buses, they're going to, even Uber and Lyft may take a hit. More people are going to want their own car rather than go on the subway, bus, or Uber. So if anything, I think it may come out a little bit stronger in the long term. So we'll see how that evolves. Josh, not complaining though, I'm grateful. I like it. Norma, I heard a quote, solitude is an accomplishment. I don't remember who said that, but I get it. I don't remember either, but I have heard that. And I think the reason that solitude is an accomplishment is because when you are alone and you're not miserable, you have found a place of peace. You're at peace with yourself. But when you get anxious when you're alone and you have to be with someone else, I think misery loves company. I'm fair, and I do think some people are meant to just be more social than others, so I don't want to be disrespectful for those who like company. But I think for a certain level of your life, you have to learn to be by yourself. Because there's times in your life, your spouse, your friends, society, they're going in a different direction. You have to be so at peace with yourself that you can encourage yourself and that you know how to take care of yourself well so you can go forward regardless of how others are doing. That's very important on your journey in life. Good job, Michael. I started watching DoorDash after work on YouTube. Okay. Good training camp for when I start. I agree. Right now, if you don't need the DoorDash, I would still recommend you get the DoorDash kit. You sign up. I would still recommend you watch YouTube videos. And on your off days, I would recommend you do 1 or 2 deliveries just to have a rhythm. What was the main message in tonight's video? And we're not done yet. The main message is, with 34 million people unemployed, what advice would I give to anyone who is currently unemployed? Don't wait too long to get back into the workforce. Don't wait until your 6 months of unemployment benefits are up. What can you do now? DoorDash, Instacart, Walmart, Wawa. You can do something, even if it's not full-time, just to keep a rhythm, okay? Just to keep a rhythm. Now, look, if you want to take a month, 2 months off, that's your right. You've earned that right because you've paid unemployment insurance and you're collecting on it now. That's what unemployment benefits are. You pay through your taxes, you pay for it. But for your best life, you have to remember that it takes about 4 to 6 months to get a new job. So if you wait to the end of unemployment benefits, you're going to be behind the 8 ball and struggling. So just keep that in mind as you go forward. Josh, I have a saving goal. Once I hit my goal, I'm going to reward myself by staying in a hotel for a weekend. There you go. Relaxing and taking hot showers. A hot shower is very good for you. I'll hit my saving goal in less than 2 months. Can't wait. Awesome, Josh. Especially as a trader and someone doing something risky, your savings account, untouched, is your peace of mind. Okay. So keep doing that, brother. That's a great goal. Good job, brother. Michael Brown, man. I know I acknowledged it already, but thank you again for that tip and that super chat, brother. And for the guy working out, man. God bless you. I appreciate your support, man. Charles. I agree. When I downsized, I felt better mentally. I think there's no downside to downsizing. I think if you want to improve your mental health, eliminate the unnecessary things in your life because you have less to worry about. I think that's very practical and wise. Josh, Michael, with the dono, none of us ain't working out though. Yeah, we're going to get back though. Hopefully, gym. I don't know. I probably still will go back into a gym eventually because I need to work out. It's true. Joe, what's up, man? What's up, Sam? Great to see you, Joe. Love to you, brother. Carol, hey, Carol. Good luck with your goal, Josh. You can do it. I agree. Got to have a goal to reach. You got to measure your goals to track your progress, especially as a trader or a business owner. If you don't measure your goals, if you don't put statistics, it's not going to just happen. And you can't evaluate what you're doing right or wrong. Like, if, like I tell you, like Anthony asked me about like what stocks she invest, and I was honest with him. I said, if I look at my record, I lost more than I made, so I wouldn't give advice. So if you've been day trading for 3 years and you've lost money every year, or if you made $10,000 the first year, but the past 2 years you've lost $7,000, you're net negative $4,000. So you have to be honest with yourself. I'm not saying you can't still day trade or do something risky, but you have to know if it's a hobby or a business. And if it's a business, you have to know how much you're making or losing. If you're not at least aware of that, you don't know how to move in life. So you could do whatever you want. It's your money. But at least be aware of the statistics. Goals are tracked statistics. And whether it's your health in walking 10,000 steps per day, 10,000 steps equals 5 miles. That's the average recommended exercise each person should do per day. So that's what the Fitbit did. And like smartwatches, they started to track how much you walk. That helped humans become more efficient. Humans are very inefficient. So the more efficient you become, the healthier decisions you make, the better financially you are, and the less mental stress you have. Efficiency is you only spending energy on things that are important. Inefficiency is wasted energy. What is the most important thing in your life? Your energy. What is a gas station? A gas station is where they sell energy. Okay. Energy is the life force of movement. Movement is life. Never forget it. Let's take a hydration break. I got to remind you guys, just to promote it, the blue join button means it's my new membership program. Every Sunday, I'm going to do member-only chats starting off, okay? And so that will be a program that you're going to see evolve on this channel, just so everyone knows. Josh, Carol, thanks a lot. You're going to make it too. Blam. I think work is healing for many people. I read a story about a Holocaust survivor. He said the only way he recovered was through working several jobs because it took his mind off it and productive. Well, one is, again, idle time is the devil's playground. A survivor, well, all I can tell you this, to survive life is to be able to get through the hard times. You get through the hard times by two ways. Number one is the grace of God. You can't take full credit. Number two is through tracking what you're doing, putting a focused energy to what you're doing and going after it. Faith plus works. Okay. And that's what I would tell you. Norma, I like the community feeling here too, Bland. Sam, you are very welcoming. Well, I appreciate that. I try to be welcoming without pandering. I cringe a little bit when I have to self-promote, but I have to. That's part of being a business owner. So I understand how it feels on the other end. Like if they hear me saying something that's like promoting the channel to join or to click the thumbs up or whatever, I understand it. So you have to strike a balance. And it's a tough thing to do. I'm still figuring it out. I'm figuring it out before your eyes. So I try to improve as I go. I try to pour energy into every person that's part of this channel, whether they're just someone watching that's subscribed, whether they're a member or whether they're super chatting. I try to be fair while still having different metrics to do things that I'm trying to do. So as any business, any venture, anything in life, any relationship, as it evolves, how you manage it evolves. And everything always changes. And it's a struggle. Because when you first start something off, when you first start a relationship, you're not thinking about, well, if we get married, we're going to have to do a budget. We're going to have to think about our shared goals. Or when you go on your first date, you're like, what's your favorite color? You know, what was it like growing up? What was my first video sucked. And then videos after that, I was just talking about living free out of my car. And then as they evolved, it got more serious. It got more, intertwined. So, a lot of people who like musical artists, they say, I wish you would do an album like your first album. But you're never going to do another album like your first album, just like you're never going to go back to your first date. Why? Because life is an evolution. I mean, it's just what it is. Time is like a river. You can never touch the same spot twice. So, above all else, what I share on this channel is an overall mindset, actions, a philosophy, and an example on general things to do to live your best life. General things. You have a different fingerprint than me. You have a different fingerprint than your parent. There's 7.5 billion people in the world. Everyone has a different fingerprint. Doesn't matter if you're in China, US, the UK, or Canada. So, I could tell you generally my thoughts individually, we're all on our own journey. Even if you're married to someone, there's a togetherness, two becoming one, but there's also two individuals that have to focus on themselves a little bit. The balance of life, coming together as a community, while sharing certain things only to build each other up to then go on our own individual routes. Like right now, like, I'm by the beach sometimes, and I see like seagulls. And seagulls, like most birds, they fly in flocks. But, there's times where they're flying by themselves. And there's some birds, like eagles, that mainly fly alone. So, depending on if you're a social person or introvert, you may fly more or less with the flock. But even birds that fly in a flock, you'll see at times they'll fly by themselves. You always have to have enough strength, even if you're a flock, to be a little bit independent, okay? And it's a very important part of self-care, self-love, self-confidence, peace of mind, contentment, and an intentional type of living that you need to focus a certain amount of time on yourself. Whether you're married, a mother of three, a business owner of three different companies, doesn't matter. You have to take some time just for you, okay? And that's all part of like kind of what we talk about. I like that bird too that you gave, Norma. That was great. Lala, Norma. Shout out to the Panhandle of Florida. Shout out to everyone there. Nicole, speak your mind. I love it. Love to you, Josh Bland. I agree. Work can be healthy. Also, I'll add that too much work can serve as a distraction. I agree with that, as well as where an individual doesn't focus on developing their authentic self and losing it. I agree with that. It's tough. Like my mom eats as a distraction, or she would work as a distraction. Some of that is unhealthy because some of that energy that you're distracting, you need to focus on yourself and take care of yourself. But my mom was blessed with a loving heart, but she doesn't have a level of, whether I want to say self-confidence or self-care, but she's got a lot of compassion. So, it's like, I don't know. I mean, everyone gets a different level of gifts. There's even a scripture in the Bible that says not everyone is given the same gift. Some are teachers, some are healers, some are prophets, it's just like everyone has a different thing in life, right? Some are Door Dashers, some are Walmarts, some are Wall Streets. Everyone has a different gift in life. Focus on your gift. Don't be jealous of someone else's gift. Like if you're a single person and you wish like you were a married person, you're going down a bad route. Just be you, okay? And if you find someone great, if you don't, I think it's better. But jealousy is a dangerous trap, man. Destroy your life, man. It's a sign of an ungrateful heart. And focus on what you have. Use what you can. Josh, on who they are. Big Dirty, what's up, man? Shout out to Big Dirty Logistics. Sammy, what's up? Shout out to you and Mark, man. Sammy, what's up, brother? I hear there's a freak snowstorm hitting Northeast. Yeah, love to, man. Shout out to you and Mark. This Saturday is going to be like 50 degrees, but I heard like chances of a snow flurry. I think the news just threw that out there to make us a little bit pissed. But starting on Sunday, and Sunday is Mother's Day. Guys, remember Sunday is Mother's Day, and all my mothers out there, if none of your kids are talking about you, don't worry about it. I'm with you. You're okay. So, but starting Sunday in the Northeast, we're back into the 60s, and next week is supposed to be 60 degree plus all sunny. So we have made it past the dead of winter. I will go back to Florida again no matter what, but I'm utilizing this time, and obviously I'm going to spend Mother's Day with my mom. I'm not going to go back. And so we take life one day at a time. But love to you, Mark, Big Dirty. Great to see you and Mark, man. Nicole, your advice, your knowledge, the way you speak, your mind, and your appreciation of your viewers is top notch. Thank you. Well, Nicole, I want to thank you again for your positive attitude, and God bless you. Pluto, my man is a member. I saw you last night, and he gave me a super chat. Pluto, God bless you, man. Pluto, shout out to my Floridians. Shout out to you and Tariq. And again, man, I saw you. You're my newest member, man. Every night on this, every Sunday on this channel, we're going to have members-only chat. You're going to have a green badge next to your name and custom emojis. That's what it gets when you hit that blue join button. But in addition to that, you got that thing right there. I can't believe you gave me a super chat. Brother, thank you, man. You're kind, man. I appreciate that. Shout out to you and all my Floridians. Shout out to Tariq, man. Stay positive. Go for a walk. Take care of yourself. God bless, man. Thank you, Nicole, also. Josh, Nicole, Nomad is great. thank you all for the compliments. I very much appreciate that. Don't put me on a pedestal. I will let you down. Um, but I also want to thank you for the compliment. A compliment does help. It encourages me. So, but some of the times I failed in life, I put a girlfriend on a pedestal. I put my pastor on the pedestal. And I know I'm going to let people down because I'm human. So I appreciate you holding it down, Pluto, man. God bless you, brother. You know, it's a tough balance, man. You know, it's like I want to inspire people, but I don't want to over-inspire people where they look at me greater than themselves. You know what I mean? And I know you guys are just giving me general compliments, but this is very important to me. My ultimate goal, even if you like unsubscribe, unjoin, never watch me again, is to build yourself up with some general things I shared. You put your own twist on it and you go live your life. Okay. Now, look, am I trying to grow my channel and grow my thing? Yes. Okay. However, not above what you need to do for you. Okay. So, like I always tell you guys, do what you need to do. Okay. For you. Okay. In a healthy, positive way. Okay. I'm going to do me always, and you're going to do you. But I want to embed that self-confidence within yourself because, you know, look, my life is temporary. Your life is temporary. We all just touch a moment in time, right? But through my life, I have practiced, learned, and sharing some things that I do. And hopefully they help you so you can apply them in your own way to your life, to be yourself, to live your best life, living maybe a simple life, downsized life, below your means, but up to your potential. You go out there, you try to do different things. You don't give up. You cut off people. You stay positive. You change your number. And over time, through consistency, through having a positive attitude, you push forward. Okay. And you keep a healthy mind. You know, one thing that rubbed me the wrong way with Elon Musk today was that, you know, look, he's a highly productive person. And he's done some good things. Now, look, basically, he made a luxury electric car. And he took over NASA, which is heavily subsidized by the government. So, in reality, I mean, it's not like the guy, like, saved the world. I mean, Bill Gates did more than Elon Musk. I don't know why people, you know, and the reason he wants to get back to work, obviously, is that you don't want Tesla to go bankrupt. And he outsourced a lot of jobs. A lot of the Tesla components are made in China. So, but I don't want to get off track, but I just looked at one thing that was encouraging about Elon Musk was he said he wanted to sell 2 houses so he could spend more time with his 6 children. And that's positive. Hopeful in California. You're still with me. 999 super chat. Hopeful in California. It used to be hopeful. Is that still hopeful in Minnesota? Is that the same one? Shout out to you and your son. I think that's still you. Is that still you? Shout out to Hopeful in California. I remember your avatar of your doggy. So Hopeful in California was thinking about moving from Minnesota to Florida. But she has a son that has autism. And I think she found out that Florida, yeah, that's her. Yes, we moved to Bakersville, Florida. That's a money bag emoji. There's a lot of job opportunities, great weather, and there are better social programs with the state government there. See, that's the key. So in America, we have 50 different states, and they're all governed a little bit differently. And then you have a federal government on top of them that oversees them. So Hopeful in California, that's her tag name, and I appreciate that tip. Thank you. I met her about a year ago on YouTube or so, and she was originally going to move to Florida, from Minnesota to Florida, but she has a son with autism. So she gets a subsidy from the state to stay home and to be a caretaker for her son. But Florida has different state laws on how much subsidy she would get to take care of her son and different medical marijuana laws. California has a little bit better laws for her situation. So one is, I think it was a smart move that she researched those laws before she decided. And like I tell everyone out there, if you live in Minnesota, get the hell out of Minnesota, only because the weather is very cold, man, for me. And so Florida and California are great choices. California is an excellent choice because you have great social programs and you have great job opportunities and you have a liberal marijuana stance if that's what you want. I don't do marijuana. But look, if I had a child with autism and it helped, I would look at it other than just the prescription drugs. I mean, I'm not promoting any of it because I don't, everyone's different, but I want to share with you how I connected with Hopeful in California and how, if you're thinking of moving, climate is number one, job opportunity number two. But if your job is to take care of a child that's disabled or whatever, you need to look at the state subsidies and the laws that will affect your lifestyle, because that's part of moving wisely. You know what I mean? Like there's faith and there's works. So you do the work to research so you live your best life. So Hopeful in California. How do you like Bakersville, California? How is the weather? How are you doing? And how long have you been there? Or have you not moved there yet? But it looks like you did move there. Wow, that's amazing. Time flies. I remember we were counting down to how many days until she moved from Minnesota to Florida, and then she changed it up. Damn, man, time flies, man. Guys, just remember, man, time flies. So whatever you want to do, start doing it. Okay? Start making a plan and start executing. Let's take a hydration break. Shout out to you guys. No, lot of hand sanitizer emoji. I just want to read, Hopeful in California says, California is max hours of 283 hours of tax-free with overtime every week. Okay. I'm not sure I get that whole thing. But bottom line is it's working out for you. So that's the best thing. Love to you. Lila gave the hand sanitizer emoji. That's a funny emoji. Wash hands every day. Don't get coronavirus. That's a good comment. Washing your hands, social distance, and wear a mask when you go in stores. Those are the general things that are going to guide us until other notice. Tom from California. Love to you, man. God bless you, Tom. Charles. The emergency benefit in Canada comes first before employment benefits right now. Okay. We get 2,000 Canadian dollars for 4 months. Okay. And when that runs out and still out of work, unemployment benefits. Okay. So when that runs out, then unemployment benefits kick in. Well, again, $2,000 in Canada equals about $1,400 in America as far as the conversion rate. So one is, you still got more than Americans because Americans got a one-time $1,200 check. You got basically a check guaranteed for 4 months, but you also have universal health care. The universal health care is what allows you to not worry about basic things in life. So there's give and take. Look, you pay for it in your taxes, but the opposite argument is if you're an American, you pay for your health care out of your pocket. Because I don't think you're going to want to live in this country or any place in the world without health care, because it's the number one cause of bankruptcy. So I think we can learn a lot from Canada. We can put our own twist on it. But again, America is the only first world developed nation that doesn't have a universal health care. We have Social Security and we have Medicare, which is great programs that has helped our elderly not be destitute. And I think, look, 40 years from now, we're definitely going to have Medicare for all, or whatever you want to call it. We're going to have a freedom dividend, universal health care. Because if you look at 40 years ago, how far we've evolved, we'll evolve more. It'll happen. Hopeful in California says, sorry, I was talking to my sister. That's all right. And texting at the same time. In Minnesota, I was getting paid only 40 hours a week. In California, I get paid, 283 hours a month with overtime every week. Bottom line is California is a great state for the money bag, great economy. California's economy is bigger than some other countries. So shout out to you, and I'm glad and I'm thankful that you able, bottom line is you moved to a better climate, good work environment, and it's healthy for you and your family. So congratulations and thank you. My man Anthony, thank you again, man. I know I read this already, but he asked me about a stock pick, and I just basically was honest with him and told him that I can't give stock advice because I've lost more money on stocks than I made. I don't want to be a fraud to you. But like I tell everyone, put a year's worth of expenses in a savings account, pay off your debt, then never touch your savings account unless it's an emergency. And then if you want a pool of money to risk, whether it's on a business or trading stocks, risk it. But then if you lose it all, you're not destitute. You still have your savings account and you have no debt. And then you're living your best life. And that's how you do it. Josh. Anthony, you a vegetarian? Josh, I love Beyond Meat. I haven't had any yet. Where you have to be careful with Beyond Meat and other plant-based meats. I have ate some plant-based meat in Publix. It wasn't Beyond Meat, though. It has high sodium. What is sodium? Sodium is a way you measure salt in food. So the average person should not eat more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day. What does sodium/salt do to your body? Too much increases your blood pressure and makes you retain water. You don't want to have more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day. It's going to make your blood pressure go up and you retain water. Okay. So high sodium is in Chinese food, takeout food, and in packaged foods, especially the plant-based meats. So maybe not enough to go over the limit, but what I can tell you is when you're dealing with these things, they counterbalance. So be very careful of the sodium levels. Pluto says 1111. Yeah, what is that, brother? I don't know. I don't know either, man. What does that mean? Let's continue to read live comments. Charles, do kick in. They average $400 a week and last 5 months until they run out. Well, that's good to know, man. Again, shout out to Canada. I met some great people, man, from Canada. Charles, unfortunately, these are all taxable benefits. Okay. So people will be shocked when they file their taxes and a tax bill will receive, because it's basically no deductions being taken. Yeah, the interesting thing about taxes, I'm not 100% sure in Canada, but never forget you have a tax rate and then an effective tax rate. As an example, a middle-class person in America, let's say they made $50,000 a year. Their tax rate may be about 21%, something like that. After they do deductions, whether they have a business, a mortgage, or anything else, their effective tax rate is anywhere between 15 to 20%. So most people are probably paying about 17% federal tax, not 30, not 25. Actual tax amount is 17% for the average person. For people making under $20,000, you're pretty much paying no tax. And for the rich people, they have so many accountants, they're paying less than most people too. Middle class is always the ones getting squeezed, but even you're paying about 17%. Anthony, you're a smart, honest man. Thank you, brother. I'm doing the best I can. Looking forward to your return to Delray Beach. Yes, I got a comment. On my Delray Beach driving video. If you guys ever get tired of my videos where I'm just talking to the phone, Tom, $1.99 super chat with the famous one finger up from our brother somewhere in an undisclosed Thousand Trails campground location in California or in the parking lot of an auto mechanic repair shop because he's the last mechanic standing. Brother, love to you. Keep moving forward. Keep living simple. Tom figured out life. He paid off his debt and he's living in a cargo trailer, fully self-contained, taking care of his mental health and living his best life. So, brother, I'll see you maybe in Orlando Thousand Trails campground next fall. Love to you, brother. Thank you for that tip. But what I can tell you out there, guys, is that if you ever get tired of me barking in my phone, if you look at my YouTube channel, go to my playlist on traveling spots. I did a lot of driving videos in Florida, showing you different parts of Florida and different parts of the East Coast. So if you ever want to see like just some traveling videos, they're on my YouTube channel under travel areas playlist. Anthony, I read that. Anthony, God bless you, man, and your mom. Well, God bless you and your children and your family also. Thank you. Michael, what's your favorite podcast? Good question. I don't really have one. I watch a variety of things. I watch Peter Schmidt, who I don't like him really that much. He's a big gold guy, and like the economy's always failing. But I listen to some things when an economy tanks. I listen to him. I listen to Joe Rogan sometimes. I listen to Dave Ramsey sometimes. A podcast, those would probably be my three type of podcasts. Peter Schmidt, Joe Rogan, Dave Ramsey. I listen to a little bit of Grant Cardone. And I watch YouTube videos of a variety of different things. That's overall what I would say. Van Life, thank you again, Van Life, for your generosity too, brother. And thank you, Tom. Van Life, keep it real, Nomad. I love to you, man. Thank you again for all your tips. Danto, Amazon is hiring. I start in 2 weeks. Well, congratulations. Hand clap emoji, guys. Amazon for the win. Now, there's also a job There's also a job called like Amazon Flex, which is like DoorDash. When I was looking at DoorDash videos, I got caught in an algorithm on YouTube and I saw some people doing what they call Amazon Flex, which is similar to like a shared economy, gig economy app that you can do. Oh, we got a new member. We got Nicole, our positive, beautiful new member, Nicole, who's been on my channel for a while. She is now the newest member of this channel, which we will do member-only chats starting every Sunday, maybe more. You're going to have a little symbol next to your name from now on showing that you're a member, and you're going to have custom emojis. So thank you, Nicole, for joining. I look forward to our members-only chat. We'll start small. We'll build up from there, and I think they'll provide some additional value to the channel. So, Nicole, thank you for joining. Love to have you. Thank you for everyone who watches. But what I can tell you is also look at whether you're going to work at Amazon, a distribution center, or Amazon Flex. But I think last year, Amazon guaranteed that every worker makes at least $15 an hour. Remember there was that fight with Bernie Sanders, like, we want 15. So I think Amazon agreed that they will pay minimum $15 per hour. So that's good news, whether you work in a warehouse and if you do like the Amazon Flex thing where you're like a DoorDasher, you can make more than that. So bottom line is congratulations, D'Antonio. And to everyone out there, especially if you're one of the 34 million Americans unemployed, collect your unemployment benefits because you paid into them through your taxes. It's not free money, it's insurance. However, don't stay unemployed too long if you don't have to, because the longer you're out of the workforce, the harder it is to get back in. Example, the longer you are out of the gym, the harder it is to go back in and get your muscle tone back. Life has a certain rhythm, a certain motion. We need to take breaks. We need to sometimes reevaluate where we want to go. And you should collect what you need to collect. I want you to remember a rhythm of life, because one of the worst times in my life where I dug a hole financially, I got laid off in my early 20s from a construction job. And I said, this is great. I'm going to collect unemployment for 6 months. And I waited till the end of the 6 months before I started really getting serious about another job. I was down to my last unemployment check and I had a bunch of bills coming due, and I started to collect more debt and my whole stress levels increased. And I wasn't paying attention to budgeting through being proactive. A lot of what I've learned in living your best life is proactive change. Do things when you don't have to. Do DoorDash when you don't have to, even if you're not going to do it all the time. At least you're in the system. Sign up for the bag and a company card and do one dash just to get experience. That way, if you get laid off tomorrow, you've done it. Like, start a YouTube channel if you don't have, do certain things when you don't have to. That way, when you have to, it's already there. Okay. And that gives you a position of power rather than a position of weakness. And the more options you have, the better quality of life. The less options, the more you're on the hook to other people. So that's my general advice. Nicole, thank you for all your honesty. Well, thank you to my newest member. Love to you. It's great to have you on board. I think I'm up to 7. That's awesome. Van Life, thank you also for your generosity, man. Very gracious of you. Shout out to all my nomads out there. 3 years living full-time on the road. Do I regret it? No. Do I say it's for everyone? No. Do I think everyone should look at their life and downsize? Yes. I think humans are very inefficient. And I think the less things you have in your life that you don't use, the better your mental health and financial health and emotional health. Downsize, the more you downsize, the less downside there is to life. The more liability you have, the more downside to when things go bad. So be careful. Van Life, again, thank you for all your love, man. I appreciate you appreciating my content. And I just appreciate your love. And Anthony, too, man, I know you gave me that Beyond Meat 99-cent thing. Thank you, brother. Tom! Oh, shit, all the way from California, the One Finger Man, my 1,000 Trails companion, has joined this channel's membership. He will be part of the VIP strip club every Sunday. We're going to have member-only chats and some additional as we go. He's got that little green thing with Pluto, too. And brother's just been a great positive supporter. And what I could tell you, brother, you set an example through living simple in your self-contained RV. And even when you have a bad day, you know that you aren't on the hook to too many people. Okay. You're a hard-working mechanic and you're a positive person. He uploaded some videos and they were all positive. And you had laughter. I heard you laughing in the background. You say, Sam, what is one of the key ingredients to life? Having a sense of humor. Now, I know I'm serious, but I also have some fun. So live simple, learn to laugh, and live on your terms. That's one of my general themes of this channel. So, brother, welcome, welcome, man, to the channel membership. You, Nicole, Pluto, Norma. It's popping tonight, man. Thank you. Love to you. Van Life, thank you again, man. Double meat stack. Thank you, Van Life, Danny. Shout out to you and all my nomads out there, Tom. Josh, wow, Danny is killing it. Very gracious, and I'm very appreciative. Anthony, let's do this, Danny. Love to you both, man. Not many people like Sam. One, honest comment. I do the best I can. Again, I don't put myself on a pedestal, but I'm grateful for the compliments. I always say you should look at life like this. Don't put yourself above anyone, but also don't put yourself beneath anyone. So if you can look at life like that, and if you can live below your means, and you show up and you stay positive, you're going to have good and bad days, but it's not going to really matter the negative people in your life because you're going to be able to navigate past them. You're going to have bad days, but you're going to live a better life. And that's what I want everyone to do. Thank you, man. Van Life. Honesty and good heart is hard to come by. I can tell Sam is a genuine fellow. I appreciate the love. I'm very grateful. Nicole, thank you again. Love to have you as a member. Beautiful words. Well, beautiful person. Like I say, Nicole, you've always left positive comments. Norma's another member too. She's showing you love. So, like I said, Nicole, you've just been a positive person, man. I appreciate that about you. Lala. Couple months, 2007, I got shocked. I'm sorry. Oh, the Christmas lights you do. I watched some of your videos. 25 times, 8 volt, 110 volt, and still shook at work 2019, 5 months. I've been electrically shocked once. I started my life as an electrician. I got shocked once by 220 volts and by 120 volt. So I still recommend for anyone out there younger who's lost, I hated construction, but trades aren't going anywhere. Being an electrician is probably the best trade. It ain't going anywhere. Carpentry, steelwork, all those things are still going to be needed. There's not going to be robots that do trade work anytime soon. Even truck drivers, eventually you're going to have self-driving, but an auto mechanic is a tradesman. So it's going to be a long way off. In Tom's lifetime, he's never going to have a robot changing oil. Or definitely not like changing like a transmission or something like that. So I wasn't a big fan of working with my hands as far as like construction and the trades, but I think there's tremendous value even today in a modern society when it comes to the electrical trade, carpentry, steelworker, plumber. So if you have an option to get into an apprenticeship, especially with a union, I would say at least do your 5 years apprenticeship and get your certification. Because it'll have value to your career and it will help you. Quasboy, what's up, man? Great to have you back. Hey, Sam, you heard Disney is reopening on May 20th? No, I didn't hear that. I mean, I heard that Disney was thinking about when they were going to do it. Is that what they said? They're going to try to reopen May 20th? I heard. Well, let me finish reading your comment. Do you think this is safe for the public? Well, I heard that they're only going to, when they do reopen, they're only going to reopen to Florida residents initially, and then they're going to allow people from out of state, and then they're going to allow people from out of the country. So I don't know all the facts, and that's the first time I heard an exact date. So would I go back to Disney World tomorrow? No. But don't forget, I'm not a Disney World person. I'm not a heavy gathering. However, like the Jersey Shore, if I'm still in New Jersey during the height of the tourism season in July, it gets packed. So I am concerned about that, especially for my mom. The good thing about Florida is it's a huge state. You don't have to go to Disney World. In New Jersey, if you want to go to the beach in the summer, the Jersey Shore is like, look at a map of New Jersey, and it's a small little thing, small little state compared to Florida or California. So there's not a lot of room on the beach. So I am concerned about any highly densely populated area, especially rides that you would have to wipe down every time. Especially places like Disney World, where not only do you have local people, but you have international people. However, I mean, I understand the mindset of you can't keep the economy closed forever, because a lot of people in Florida work for Disney World and it's part of its culture. So, I mean, I'm sure it's probably going to open up at like 50% capacity with social distancing and face masks. So I am not definitely against it. I would say if they could find a balance and maybe have some testing zones, keep face masks and limit the capacity. I mean, I think, like, look, we have to reopen America a little bit, but you got to be very careful. So I would be in favor in incrementally opening it while testing it and maintaining social distancing as best you can. That would be my general statement until we know otherwise. Milano? Yes, I get a check by the mail. Emilio did not get anything yet. Yeah, my mom collects Social Security. She didn't get a stimulus yet. So that's interesting. I know a few people that did. Quaz, they lost about $500 million after closing for 52 days. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, they lost a lot of money. But they're a $1 billion company. Billion with a B. So $500 million for a multi-billion dollar company is still a big hit, but it's not bankruptcy. So, but you don't want it to go on forever. It's a balance between safety, productivity, and healthy for society to move a little bit. So we'll see how it goes. Good question. Showgirls. My old boyfriend years ago said I did nothing like staying at home in my house. Alone, I'd rather be at work, or like he said, you are scared of yourself. When you get over that, you will be fine. Well, yeah, it's like, for me, no one knows you like you. So the worst thing you can tell someone is calm down. The worst thing you can tell someone is it's all in your head. Now, I'm saying this as a mature person. Like, in my younger days, I didn't have this type of mindset. But when I see someone struggling, I try to catch myself now, even like with my mom. I say, Sam, don't give too much advice. Don't try to tell someone else. Like, I try to keep my words, when someone is really struggling, I try to keep my words less, okay? So obviously, look, I'm on YouTube, I'm sharing right now, but when I'm in person and someone's really telling me about a hardship or struggling mentally, I listen more and I talk less, okay? As a mature person, I learned that's the best therapy. Because for most people, they just need to talk it out. And for most people, they're not going to really listen to your advice. What you're hoping to do is plant a little seed in the small words that you speak that will spark some inspiration or enlightenment that will help them down the road. However, you plant a seed on fertile ground, you plant a seed on the concrete soil. You don't know what you're going to get, but you plant a seed, you listen, and you let it be. Showgirls, he was right. Showgirls, Disney reopens on Monday in orientation. Maybe it will be fine as long as the stupid people don't go. 6 feet rule, okay. 30% occupancy, okay, that makes sense. And the rides are sterile after the ride. People are seated farther apart. Yeah, that makes sense. The seating on the rides, that's a little bit tough. But, I mean, I would definitely wear gloves. If I was Disney, I would mandate that everyone in the park also wear gloves. But the gloves are a little bit suspect too, because some people said, like, if you don't take off the gloves the right way, the virus could be on there, and then you, like, touch your face. So, I don't know. Showgirls, I have trains, and I practice 80% of the 6 feet rule. And gloves. Okay, you got it. And sterilizing every ride. You get it. Oh, yeah, you get it. I rolled the worst part of the corona and did fine, but money was bad. Well, that's a good comment. Josh, what's up, showgirls? Milano, Sammy. I do like RV parks because the park to close each other. Like sardines, do not like that. Yeah, I don't like that either. The part I don't like about some of the Thousand Trails and some of the Encore parks is that you are right next to each other. It's a RV park. Even the communities that I was looking at buying an RV lot in Florida, the lots are kind of close. When I stealth park, or when I go to like in Florida, the BLM land in Florida is called like Florida Water Management District. I don't really like that. What I like is like, look, yeah, stealth parking at a rest area, truck stop. Back in the day, Planet Fitness parking lot once in a while. To me, it's like more relaxing than parking next to another camper. However, the value of the 1,000 Trails camping pass is $600 for the entire year to have a guaranteed safe, legal place to park with full utility hookups and bathroom facilities is worth it for most full-time nomads, especially as you get older. So it has its downsides, but again, the cost output and the fact that you can cancel, and not have to renew it, I like that. And what I also like about RV parks is, look, you can go there for one day. It doesn't have to be 1,000 Trails, or you can go there for 1 month. But if you need utility hookups and if you couldn't run a generator, an RV park is still very cost effective for the nomad life. You can get a decent RV park in certain places for like $500 to $800 a month. That's still cheaper than most rents. And if you don't like the RV park, you could start your RV or tow your RV and leave. So I still think there's value in an RV park, definitely in campgrounds, definitely in state parks. And I still think there's value if you're going to get an RV, a motorhome, or a travel trailer, let it be fully self-contained, meaning it has a bathroom with a shower, a kitchenette, and a sleeping quarters, fully self-contained. So if you get sick, if you get the coronavirus, cancer, or break your leg, you can stay in your self-contained RV at an RV park and be fully self-contained without having to deal with others. And if you don't like that RV park, you can leave when you heal. God forbid you should ever get sick. So that's my mindset. Showgirls, we have to operate or it's all gone. Without spring break in Florida, trains alone would probably fold. It'd ruin. Florida operates a lot of its revenue off tourism. The number one state in America for tourism is Florida. The reason it can operate without state income tax is because it subsidizes its needs through tourism. So without that, their economy would fold pretty badly. There are what's the number one industry in Florida other than tourism? Healthcare. However, again, Florida has a little bit lower pay scale, but it can be a little bit cheaper cost of living. So you can subsidize the lower pay scale with a lower cost of living if you're careful on the area you select. And I still love the culture in Florida. I also love the climate. I like humidity. I like to sweat. California has benefits and other states have benefits, but I love Florida. Florida will always be my home base. So, that's what I would say. Pluto, man, thank you again, brother. I appreciate that pound. I appreciate your membership, brother. I look forward to our member-only chats, man. Shout out to you and Tariq. I appreciate you holding down Florida. Fellow Floridian, man. Milano, also Floridian. Sammy, the stock market may be a good thing, but not for me. I like to save better. Me too. Look, the most money I've lost is in the stock market. Mainly day trading, though, not long-term investing. That's true. But everyone spends their money differently, and everyone should do what they want. My advice, and I'll repeat it again, get a year's worth of expenses in a savings account, pay off your debt, and whatever you want to do with the rest of your money, it's fun money. And at least you always have your savings account. Showgirls, just one location is $5K or more to rent. $300 a month, commercial transport insurance, and be closed. We are going broke. Our Simon Walls forgave rent, and others did not. We are like truckers. We roll. Yeah, look, every economy has to roll. I mean, even New York. I mean, New York is Times Square. It's Broadway. That's all shut down. So every economy depends on a level of movement. You have to balance it with the health of a community and a level of movement. There's no exact science, and each state has its own unique circumstance. So, I think overall, I may not have liked certain personalities of certain politicians or even certain policies, but overall, as far as where we stand now, I don't see anyone being too reckless. However, if something springs up badly, then just like how we say, like, we started late, there's, it's going to be whatever. But I think we have seen the character of some politicians. We have seen that if we give corporations tax cuts to go into a deficit, and then we hit an emergency in the economy, we subsidize corporations and we went into a national deficit for no reason. That's why you need universal health care and universal basic income, because, guys, we tried to make our economy go up like a rocket ship, and we went into trillions of dollars of debt to do it. And then we hit a national emergency. We had to subsidize the corporations again, bail out Wall Street again, and we had to figure out how we're going to help Main Street. And some of the businesses that will go bankrupt are the Main Street, small businesses, regular people. There are job opportunities, and no one is going to starve to death in America. America is still a great country. However, there's a little imbalance in the system that could easily be corrected. Nothing is ever going to be perfect, but I have hope it will be. Why? Because I look back 40 years ago, 100 years ago in America. Look where we're at now. With 34 million Americans laid off, everyone is getting money, whether it's unemployment, Social Security, etc. The most vulnerable of our society get Medicare, okay, or Medicaid, okay. You could DoorDash, Instacart, or work at Walmart. If you wanted to work, you could get a job right now. So everyone may have their own still unique challenges in life, but overall, we have still gone forward as a country, and we will continue to go forward. And I'm very hopeful and grateful for that. And not just America, but, Canada, Europe, Italy, and every other, humanity. I am hopeful for humanity at large. And so, we just continue to go forward. But it's just temporary in this world. Showgirls. Josh, my friend. Showgirls. We lost a lot of engineers in other states during the shutdown. It's a bad thing. Hopeful in California. Love to you again. Thank you. And congratulations on moving to California. Shout out to you and your son and your doggy. And thank you for that generous tip. Showgirls. Elon Musk is an inventor. Very young. Impressive. Yeah, he's really like an engineer by passion and trade, software engineer and mechanical engineer. He made his first real money being the co-inventor of PayPal. Then he leveraged that in Tesla. Tesla almost went bankrupt in 2008. The government had to give them a loan that saved their company. The government subsidized Tesla through tax credits to buy electrical vehicles. And the government subsidizes SpaceX, Elon Musk's other business. He took over for NASA. NASA is on Cape Canaveral in Florida. So part of everything he does, the government does subsidize some of that because it has supposedly, and it has like a common good for America to be in space exploration and to do renewable energies. So Elon Musk has earned his right to be a billionaire. However, we also saved a company that now only makes luxury cars. Hopefully his technologies eventually, like big screen TVs, trickle down to a lower level, which it will. And even him, a billionaire, is selling two of his mansions, not all, two of his mansions, because he realizes that living a more simplified life, there's less stress, especially when you have 3 businesses, 6 kids, and he's on a second wife. Okay, so, there's a lot to be said for that. Hopeful in California. Yes, we moved to Bakersville, California. We'll love to that. That's a great area. Love to, Showgirl says, love to you in California. I grew up there. Showgirls, I filed for the stimulus check 5 days, no answer from it at all. Yeah, my mom still didn't get it either, but I know some people that have. Forgive me for saying the name wrong. Blickeroni. I live in Bakersville, California. It's not bad. Love to you. I hope you're still in here, Blinkeroni. Thank you for sharing. Hopeful in California. California's max. Oh yeah, we went through that. I know you clarified that, about the work hours from Minnesota to California. Thank you, hopeful. Showgirls. California is a horrible place now. Do not do it unless you have $10K to move. In Florida is usually rent, and same for deposit. Yeah, it all depends on the parts, right? There's some parts in Florida you wouldn't want to live, and there's some parts probably in California you wouldn't want to live. So everything in life is based on evaluating the good and bad areas, evaluating the weather, evaluating the culture, and then everyone has their own individual journey on if they can secure a job in that area. So you kind of have to go on like your own journey on, you know, what area is going to work for you as an individual. And then you go from there. Tom, just realized you were live. Well, Tom, again, I know we read that already, but it's great to have you, brother. Thank you for the tip. Thank you for joining as a member. Love to you and shout to you, brother. You're living a great life, man. Living a simple life, but an inspired life. Hopeful. Sorry, I was talking to my sister. No, that's okay. I know we read that too. But yeah, she gave the breakdown of she was getting paid only 40 hours a week in California. Is getting paid 283 hours a month with overtime next week. Tom, still hasn't, you haven't got your stimulus either, man? That's wild, man. Yeah, I don't know how they're doing that, but I know some people are definitely, like Pluto's in here. He got it. He said a couple of weeks ago. Pluto, shout out to you, man. Nicole, I'm joining. I absolutely love your videos. Nicole, thank you for your love. Thank you for your appreciation. Thank you. Very much appreciated. Milano, Sammy, we have more than 34 million disabled. We need to filter them out, smokes and drugs. Yeah, well, it's a tough thing. Look, I don't even understand why smoking is still legal. Smoking kills 500,000 people a year. 500,000 people die a year from smoking. I started smoking cigarettes at the age of 11. I quit around 25, 27. Smoking is legal because, they have lobbyists. Because corporate records showed that the tobacco companies lied to Americans. They presented false evidence, false studies, and marketed cigarettes to young kids because they knew the addictive qualities of the cigarette, and they knew that they could capitalize off getting people addicted. And so why is it still legal if it kills 10 times more people than the coronavirus? Money back. So in 40 years, will cigarettes still be legal? I don't think so. 40 years ago, I don't even know. I don't think they had you had to be 18. Secondhand smoking, you could smoke everywhere 40 years ago. You could smoke in a restaurant. You could smoke in a bar. So 40 years from now, I don't think cigarettes will be legal. In my opinion, I could be wrong because the money bag rules the world, but you know what I mean? I don't think they will. Tom, thank you again, brother. Love to you and all and everyone out there. Thank you for the tip and thank you for joining, brother. Love to you, man. Pluto, again, I see you. And Nicole, welcome also. It's gonna be great with these member-only chats as they evolve too. Forgive me for saying it wrong. Alicia, I love that name. Nice last name too. I love your channel. Praying for you always. Well, thank you. Thank you for those prayers. I appreciate that. I love your name. I love how it flows. Alicia Quarantino. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I like that name. Lala. Is it a handshake emoji? Showgirls stripper pole dance. Yeah. Hey guys, strippers are 1099 independent contractors. I dated a couple. And so I'm not against stripping at all. You just have to be careful with that lifestyle and that environment. I don't think stripping is necessarily bad. The bad part about stripping, and I know because I dated a stripper, I spent time in a strip club, is that the environment and the association with people, if you're not careful to get out of it at a certain point, can suck you into bad things. So like everything in life, it has a season, right? So you'll get to your point in your late 20s or mid 20s that you really have to start to say, look, the environment of a strip club is not healthy. Now, it doesn't mean that the people in there are evil, because again, I know some great people that were strippers or just in the strip club, good people. But the environment, I knew people that got shot, it's just a disaster. So eventually you got to get out of strip club, bottom line. Nicole, thank you for all your honesty. Well, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you. Reciprocal relationship. Mark, he's back, man. Mark and Big Dirty. Hey, Sammy, peace and love to you. Peace and love to you and Big Dirty also. I'm praying for your health and your weight management, and I'm praying for Big Dirty's knee. I know his knee was hurting. So, guys, watch the sodium. Keep it low on the sodium. That Chinese food got high sodium. Love to you and Big Dirty, and God bless all my truck drivers out there. Big Dirty Logistics and Mark Travels, they're both truck drivers by trade. So love to both of you if you're still in the live chat. Tom joined also, guys. Thank you, man. Yeah, look, thank you for everyone who clicks that blue join button and becomes a member. You can cancel at any time, but we're going to start off with Sunday member-only chat. You'll have a symbol next to your name and custom emojis. And through time, I'm going to grow some value into that, and it'll be a blessing. So thank you for the new members and future ones. Pluto, love to you, brother. Nicole, whoop, whoop. Tom, high five. Tom, so true. Norma, whoop, whoop. Norma, see you too. Nicole, I love to you. Norma, love to you, Nicole. That's awesome. Norma. Every message I can see on my screen right now has the member. We're growing, and I'm very thankful for that. Just remember, every time you grow, it'll have ups and downs, but you have to step out there to grow. So I'm very grateful, no matter who it is. Again, I don't care if you guys just subscribe or if you're not subscribed and you're watching, if you just click the thumbs up, if you super chat. Sabrina's in here. She's one of my first members, too. She didn't get her stimulus either. That's not good. I got to get Trump on the phone. And I'm a service-connected disabled veteran. You didn't get it either, Suprema? Damn. My mom didn't get it either. She's living on, I don't know, what, $1,200 a month Social Security. So, love to you, Sabrina. Thank you to everyone, man. That's interesting. You're going to get it. I think, everyone's going to get it. Nicole, thank you. Sam, love to you, and thank you for your positivity. Fireproof, what's up, man? I want a blue name, okay? Can I pay to be a mod just to have my name in blue? No, I don't do mods. Your name wouldn't be in blue, but you would have a blue wrench. Why don't I do mods? Because I have seen some channel where if you make someone a moderator, they can block someone, and they can block someone that you don't want blocked. And sometimes people create fake profiles just to be a fake moderator to destroy your channel. So for me, I just block people on my own. And if the channel ever got unhealthy, I would just make it a private chat or a members only chat. So I have eliminated a lot of people. I blocked about 3,000 people on YouTube, and I'll block more because I have decreased my channel from growing and lost revenue because of it. But long term, I'm going to grow my channel in a healthy way, God willing. And so I like to have the say on the moderator factor, only because I know what I like and what I don't like. And so I appreciate you, but I'm being honest. Like, that's why I don't have moderators. Because to me, I'll either block it, I'll go back and look at the replay and see who was acting crazy, or eventually I would just change certain settings and make members only or do certain things like that. So, and I want to encourage everyone that has a YouTube channel or thinking of starting one. I recommend that you do put boundaries up, block, or do membership only or something like that, so that you can create an environment that's good for you. Because if you allow the trolls in, you'll get more views. Short term, your channel will grow. Long term, your mental health will suffer and your channel will suffer because it will just become a shit show. It will become a circus. If you allow clowns in your house, you're going to have a circus. I don't want a circus. I want to have fun. I want to talk about some issues. I want to, talk about overall living our best life. Yes, it's a side hustle, but no, it's not a soul hustle. So that's kind of what I said. Love to you, man. Thank you. Len, Sam, you've inspired me to focus on my career. Well, I see it in you. And I may have sparked something in you, but you were already a hardworking man, because when I looked at your channel before we barely knew each other, you already had a positive mindset. You were already working and going to school. You're doing both now, and you're starting a YouTube channel. So, like I say, no matter what you do, whether you stop doing YouTube or you change from Pepsi to something else, you are going to be fine. You're never going to starve to death. You're never going to be destitute. Why? Because you show up, you have a positive attitude. And guys, if you could do those two things, you're going to figure it out. You're going to have your ups and downs in life. You're going to go through good and bad times. But if you show up and you try to stay positive, even through depression, you'll figure it out and you'll go forward. And the grace of God. I believe in a level of faith. Keep the faith. I'm not going to tell you what religion to believe. That's your own journey. And I stand with my atheist for the right to be an atheist. But my personal view is keep a level of faith in your life because you need it. Faith is taking the first step without seeing the entire staircase. How do you take a new job when you're scared? Faith. Okay? You do the research, you work, you earn it, but you need faith. When you're scared, faith gives you a level of confidence to push forward past the fear. And that's helpful. Especially when you got an 18-wheel truck driver with headlights in your grill. Pluto, calm down, fire. God bless. Nicole, Norma, I like your comments. I like to see your comments. Nicole, I don't comment a whole lot, but I will. Well, love to you, Nicole. It's going to be a healthy environment, so we appreciate having you, and we appreciate your comments. Norma, Lala, cool emoji. That was an interesting one. Norma, don't always comment either. It's good to, Norma, you right? No, Norma, me and you connected. You've been with me for a while now, so it's great to have you. And that too, like, as we've been with each other longer, like, members, you're going to see, like, that green symbol is going to turn, like, orange, blue, purple, and it's going to show, like, how long you've been with the channel. Pluto, Sam, to me, seems to be illuminated and understand life. We are all blessed to have met you, brother. Well, it's reciprocal. So you guys have poured things into my life as well. And we may not be connected forever. Again, I would never ask someone to do anything I wouldn't do. Like, same thing, like, people can unsubscribe, cancel at any time, do whatever, not watch. Because the best relationships give each other freedom. Okay. So I think through my life experience, sometimes that I've suffered and caused others to suffer when you get into a relationship and there's a smothering or you feel on the hook to one another. And so giving each other freedom is inspiration within itself, okay? And allowing each other to say, look, even if you decide you want to go your own way, I'm not going to be spiteful towards you. I'm not going to be resentful towards you. If you've been divorced or if you've gotten away from certain people, let go of resentment and spitefulness. Resentment and spitefulness will destroy your mental and emotional health. It will manifest in your career, in your life goals. In my opinion, I think that you can never live your best life with resentment and spite. Now, you may get pissed and you may get passionate, and that's a different thing, okay? Spite and resentment is a lingering energy. It's a lingering negative energy. It's a vampire to your soul. It not only destroys your soul, but it destroys everyone around your environment. And so you got to be very careful with that energy. Nicole, my son just yesterday got an apprenticeship. Oh, good for him. That's awesome. In carpentry. Okay. I hope it works out for him. I do too. I'll keep him in prayer. Anyone going through a trade apprenticeship, my number one piece of advice is get through the apprenticeship program. I did 5 years. For 5 years, I worked during the day and then you go to school at night for 2 nights a week. Get your certification. Then, even if you want to do something else, you have one more thing in life that you can do to earn an income. Vast Epileptic, what's up, man? Peace. I made it to Cocoa Beach. I know Cocoa Beach. I would go just south of there. I like Satellite Beach and Melbourne Beach a little bit better. But he goes, peace, I made it to Cocoa Beach. Got 2 swim in the ocean. First time, long time. Question. Do you pay for parking when you go to the beach? No. I've been to Florida enough where I know there's plenty of free parking, especially in that area. Now, Cocoa Beach by the pier, there's not any free parking. But if you go a little bit south of Cocoa Beach into Satellite Beach and Melbourne Beach is way better. And even Satellite Beach, as far as like it's more isolated, nicer beach, and freer parking. So what I would tell you to do is just stay on Highway A1A and go south and stop at Satellite Beach, Melbourne Beach, and then keep going south. Go to Vero Beach, then cross over the bridge, go into the Treasure Coast, go all the way down to Palm Beach, explore Florida. Florida has the best oceans, the best coastline in the entire country. The best beaches are in Florida. I love California, but I think most people, even I know that from California, say that Florida has the best beaches in the country. Okay. So the further south you get, the clearer the ocean, the nicer the palm trees, the more tropical the environment. Remember, Miami is just a little bit away from the Caribbean. Southeast Florida is basically the Caribbean in America. You have American infrastructure, American jobs, but you have a Caribbean vibe. That's a blessing. And that's why I love Florida. Nicole, good therapy, Sam. Thank you. Nicole, Sam, do you park on the side of the road or just pull over to go to sleep? Well, one is I never park in residential areas. So I either park at truck stops, rest areas, campgrounds, once in a while stealthing at a Planet Fitness gym when they were still open. And that's usually my thing. But I research the area prior to going. And if it's my first time in that area during the day, I scout the land before. So at night, and if you're totally lost at night, I Google in my phone the nearest rest area. Rest areas and truck stops, sometimes there's some funny people, so you have to be mindful. But overall, I've only had maybe 3 experiences where either, like someone came in the middle of the night and asked for money, like drunk or something like that. But overall, my experience on the road has been very safe. However, if you only stay at campgrounds, you're really never going to have to worry about anything bad. And even at truck stops and rest areas, it's going to be very rare that you have an issue. And a lot of rest areas are monitored by security guards or state troopers. So even that, you'd be okay. The biggest thing is if you're not going to go to a campground, arrive late and leave early. Don't overstay your welcome. Don't abuse stealth camping. Keep it moving. And to me, always have, if you're going to be in areas that have 1,000 trail campgrounds, for $600 a year, it's worth it to have the pass, because if you're totally lost, you always have somewhere to go. Now you have to move a little bit within the campground. Within the campgrounds, you can't just stay at one forever, but you can just keep it moving. And if you're a tent camper, you can move every 4 days and just keep cycling. And it kind of works out. Showgirls, do not pull on the road and sleep. You will have cops all over you. Yeah, that's true. Or Robert. Yeah, not just on the side of the road. I agree with that. Especially if you're a girl. Yeah, definitely go to a designated area such as a truck stop, rest area, or campground would be the best if you could. Fort Walton beaches are free with showers. Showgirls, Lila, what's a showgirl stripper? Nicole, Sam, not much, if anything. I disagree with you on. We'll love to. I so enjoy your videos. Well, I appreciate that, Nicole. I appreciate you. Showgirls, Nicole, only stay at paid park with security and name brand truck stops. Do not stay one place lot you have to float, or they think you're a lot lizard. That's a huge problem. Sabrina, great to have you, Sabrina. I hope that billionaire is giving back to the community in a way that benefits the regular people since the government bailed out Tesla. Yeah. The philosophy is that eventually Tesla spurred enough innovation to go towards electric vehicles, and that helped society. However, Tesla did pay back the loan from the government. But yeah, it's a little bit disingenuous that they only make luxury vehicles, because even now they're still getting government bailed out, because if you buy a Tesla, you get a big tax, not a big, but you get a tax incentive to buy an electrical vehicle. So, it's a give and take. But I will say that you're seeing more and more hybrid vehicles. Like, it used to be just the Toyota Prius was a hybrid. Now you have the RAV4, the Jeep Renegade. I think the 2021 or 22 Jeep Renegade is going to have a hybrid edition. So you're going to go from gasoline cars to hybrid to electric. So Tesla set a standard. They pushed a standard that's good for society in the long term. Obviously, he made a hell of a lot of money on it, but it'll be good for society in the long term. So right now, we're at all gasoline. We're going, and you're seeing it as you're living, we're going towards hybrid. Hybrid vehicles is the bridge between gasoline to electric. So, and the cost is coming down. So, we're going towards renewable energies. You may always need some gasoline, but we're not going to depend on it like we did 20 years ago. It's true. Nicole, I have not gotten my stimulus yet. Nicole, I stopped smoking 4 years ago. Congratulations. The number one cause of preventable deaths is tobacco-related disease. Sabrina, I haven't got my stimulus check either. I am a service disabled military veteran. Love to you, Sabrina. Yeah, my mom hasn't gotten it either. Keep us posted. Milano, Sammy, see you later. Love to you, brother. Thank you for joining, man. Shout out to you and Emilio and everyone in Miami. Nicole, Showgirls, thank you for the tips. Lila, hey, Nomad, you're my best friend. Well, I got love for you too. Lila, thank you for that compliment and love too. You're my friend also. Nicole, you people are my tribe. Well, it's all love to connect with positive people. I'm grateful for that. Nicole, thank you. Nicole, gotta have faith one day at a time. Amen. Sabrina, oh, that's interesting. Have I parked at a hospital? No. I did, when I was doing DoorDash in Florida, I did some drop-offs to a hospital late at night. I saw one or two people who would do it. A lot of them do have security guards that check. So me personally, I have never stealth camped in a hospital parking lot. And I don't know if I would recommend it. They're heavily guarded. So yeah, being that I haven't done it, I guess I wouldn't recommend it. Because just no need to cause a problem. What I have found in my 3 years living on the road is that between rest areas, truck stops, and campgrounds are the safest. And again, whether it's 1,000 trails package, which is the cheapest if you're going to be in areas that have their campgrounds, or state parks, which are a little bit more expensive, you could figure out what works for you and you could do it safely and legally. Because again, the number one thing I looked at when I looked at possibly living full-time as a nomad was, is it legal? I wasn't going to do it if it was illegal. Living in your car or RV is 100% legal. What is illegal is if you park illegally and sleep in your vehicle, especially in certain counties and districts. So as long as you are respectful to your environment, on average, you're never going to have major problems with the law. Because remember, I read articles every day about people who get robbed in their house, who have police called to their house, who robbers and domestic dispute, etc. So living in your house will not avoid dealing with the cops or avoid getting robbed. It's a little bit more stable environment, but that's how I would answer that. Good question. Bland, this is a weird question. We'll shoot for it, brother, because we're at the end of the live chat. But did you notice your gas start to get worse with a plant-based diet? Mine did. No. When I eat a lot of beans, because my plant-based diet consists of a lot of low-sodium Goya beans. I eat red beans, low-sodium Goya beans. The beans obviously give me a little bit gas, but outside of that, I wouldn't say that mess with me. But if you're transitioning, it's going to mess with you, because your body is a system. And when you change your system, there's an adjustment period. So your digestive system, when you change what you feed it, it has to regulate it, and you have to do that same thing into your pattern before your digestive system processes it properly. So that's how I say. No, man. I just made a video you'll laugh at, involves beans. Well, I'll check it out. Lala, coronavirus will be back to normal nationwide. Okay. Tom, we're going to end on your note, brother. Thank you again for all your love. One finger up. One finger up to everyone out there. Ryan, thank you. Kale sucks. I actually love kale, man. I love kale. It will tailor up your gut. I love kale, though. I'm not going to lie. I love to you, man. All right, guys. Love to you, man. God bless. I appreciate everyone. See you in the next one.